everybody. Good morning. Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. Happy New Year to everybody out there. And boy, do we have something to talk about today. Right from the start of the show, our new clocks are in use today. What does that mean? Less commercial breaks. So we will take this first segment for the next 20-plus minutes, 21 minutes. So all the complaints, including from me, about how many times we go to commercial, no longer. 3 breaks an hour. As we say good morning and Happy New Year to Mr. Ray Dunn. Good morning, Ray.
It's just a new year at this point. It took 5 days, but it's just a new year. I don't know if the happy's there anymore.
Well, I've already said it to you, but I'm doing it again. A lot of people were out of the regular routine. Now people are back to work as normal. As we say good morning, he's wearing a Sherpa today. Looks very comfortable and cozy.
Oh, it feels good.
His name is Mr. Sean Brace. Happy New Year, Sean.
Happy New Year, everybody, and it's great to be back here on a Monday. Playoff season is here, John. Oh, this is what we all been waiting for.
Is it great? Is it great?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so I need the floor for just give me like a minute or 2 or 3 or 4, and then we'll go. Because on Friday, I was working with Mike Gill, and on Friday, Mike asked me, he said, do you agree with the Eagles resting their starters? And my answer was, well, sure, if they win the game and Chicago doesn't lose. And he laughed. And he said, well, that's not fair. Sure it is. If you're going to elect to rest your starters, you better hope Chicago doesn't lose and the Eagles win the game. Because if Chicago loses and you rest your starters and you lose the game, that's not okay. So when Chicago lost the game and you elected to sit your starters and you lost the game, you cost yourself something very significant. We all know that. I'm not going to get into the great detail. You know what you've given up. But when you decide to rest your starters, you better hope that Chicago doesn't lose the game because now your reserves have to win. So when the Bears lost the game and the Eagles and Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman, this is on you too, brother. When you decided and you made the decision that you weren't going to play your starters, you have to win the game. And you lost. And it's significant what you lost. So let me give you 2 examples of what other teams did that totally nixes anybody that wants to come out and say, oh, well, it's more important to have rest. This is what every team would do. Well, the Jags needed to beat the Titans to win the division. So the Jags, of course, are going to play their starters because they win and they're in. The Texans were playing the Colts. If the Jags lost and the Texans won, the Texans would then win the division. But the Jags losing to the Titans is about as unlikely as anything that was going to happen yesterday in the NFL. But you know what the Texans did? They played their starters, or they started their starters. And you know what they did when the Jags started blowing out the Titans early? They took their starters out of the game.
Ooh, I didn't know you could do that.
You can. You don't have to play them the whole game, Sean.
Oh,
you can.
Interesting.
So the Jags said, well, of course we're going to play our starters. The Texans very easily could have been like, no, rest is more important. It's like the Jags. Yeah, the Jags are going to win. That's most likely. But in the rare case, or in the extremely unlikely case that they didn't, maybe there's an injury. Maybe there's an injury to the quarterback. They played their starters until they saw that, nope, this isn't happening. Let's get our starters out. Right? The New England Patriots yesterday, if they win and the Broncos lose, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Broncos were heavy favorites at home against the Chargers. The Chargers were resting their starters because they had little to nothing to play for. So the Broncos, and it was actually a much closer game than I would have thought, but the Patriots played their starters. So in a game, it was extremely unlikely that outcome was going to matter because the Broncos were such huge favorites at home. The Patriots elected to play their starters because this is football, and you can't go into a game worried about being injured, which takes us back to the Eagles. Man, Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni and crew must have really thought there was pretty much zero chance that the Eagles were losing that game, even with Tanner McKee starting. Because otherwise, why would you, in a game of that magnitude, because Detroit and Chicago, Detroit beating the Bears was far more likely than any of these other scenarios we're talking about. I'm not going to say it was a coin flip, Chicago was a small favorite. You can see how they would lose that game. Detroit is a talented and a good team, and they were playing their starters, and it was in division, right? So knowing what was at stake and the likelihood of the Lions beating the Bears, instead of coming out and playing your starters, and if the game got out of hand, you could take them out, they elected to play their reserves. So once again, Mike Gill said, what did you think about them resting the starters? And I said, well, you know what? They damn well better win that game, and the Bears better not lose. Because if they do, this is an all-time bad decision. And that's what the Eagles did yesterday, Sean Brace. Good morning.
Oh, let me turn the mic on right there. That's a roaring round of applause, Ray Dunn, for this man who's playing injured, too. I'm right there with you, John. This was a conversation that was brought up all throughout the course of last week. I'm not even going to go as far as where you went with, if they win, it's all – no. Because that, to me, I was just opposed to this decision from the jump. Now, by now, we've been on social media and we've heard everybody and what they've had to say. And, of course, the injuries could happen. And Grant Calcaterra could have very well been Dallas Goedert, John Marks. And then what are you saying today? Look, they play 17 games. Guys go down. But I also know that yesterday on the broadcast, Ross Tucker said that this was the most healthy team since week 1, I believe,
right,
if I'm not mistaken. And, by the way, teams go on to play games in the playoffs with injuries. We've seen teams go on to win Super Bowls with injuries. I'm not asking for anybody to get hurt, but if that is your only caveat to come back to, I just refuse to go down that path where it's like Mike Tomlin said it best yesterday. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, okay? Well, that's where I'm at with this conversation. You can't be worried about guys getting hurt. That was a terrible Commanders team. And you're right, where the Eagles thought that they could win that game with the backups. Well, shame on them because they had a golden opportunity to get the 2 seed. To hold that bracket in the hand, John, it really hit me hard last night. To hold the bracket, the path is it's drastically different now than if they were able to just beat the Commanders, who, by the way, they should have with the backups, but they did not, led by a 39-year-old Josh Johnson. I mean, it's a disgrace across the board. Now, is it the end-all, be-all? No. And is this something that we'll be continuing to talk about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? No. But today, you bet your ass this is a conversation we're going to get into, and it was the wrong decision, point blank.
Period. And by the way, Wednesday, I can't guarantee that I'm not still talking about this.
Well, that's fine. It's your show. It's Middays with Marks.
Not for the whole show. But here's another thing that I heard. That, injury. Oh, injuries.
Yes.
Injuries. I get it. All else being equal, of course, you don't want to play your starters, right? If it's all about the injuries, though, like Andrew Salciunas said to us, I was yelling at him during one of the commercial breaks. Mm-hmm. He had said, well, I don't care about seeding. Okay, fine. You don't care about seeding. If you don't care about seeding, why would you play your starters against the Buffalo Bills? Think about it at the time. For the Eagles to have the number 2 seed, it was at that point extremely unlikely. You needed to beat the Bills on the road and then come back and beat the Commanders. But the Bears had to lose both games as well. So I won't tell you it was crazy to think what could have happened, but you still had to go on the road against a Bills team that was still playing for the division, and then you had to win, and then the Bears had to lose 2 games. But if you don't care about the seeding and you care more about being healthy than going for the number 2 seed, why would you play your starters in a driving cold rain against the Bills? It was pouring rain. What's more likely to happen? When's an injury more likely to happen? In the rain in Buffalo?
Yep.
Or on a dry field at Lincoln Financial Field? Seriously, if you're so concerned about injuries, don't play them in that game either.
I'm right there with you on that one. We understand it's 2 weeks ago. It's a tough test against Buffalo. You want to get them going in that right direction. I think your scenarios that you brought up across the league is perfect because you're looking at teams with double-digit favorites. With the Jags were 10-point favorites, if I'm not mistaken. The Denver Broncos were 16-point favorites.
Yep.
16-point favorites. Everybody played. Chicago Bears, they played everybody. Of course, we got a good Ben Johnson cut. He took a shot at people that want to rest. Oh, by the way, the only team that rested starters was Nick Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Lions played their starters. They didn't have anything to play for.
Nico Collins sat for the Texans. Other than that, the majority of the team, I believe, did play.
Yeah, no, like
quarterback C.J. Stroud, everybody played.
I'm not telling you Lane Johnson should have played or Jalen Carter should have played or anything like that. You play your starters, period. And when I said on Friday that like what's your reaction? My initial reaction was, yeah, I don't like this. But then it was, I understand the want to rest starters. You better win the game, period. Like, if you're making the decision that you're going to rest your starters, you better hope the scenario doesn't play out to where you need to win the game and you lose. Because the difference between number 2 and where they're going to be, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe the Eagles are going to be fine. Maybe. But it's clear the advantage. Last year, they were the number 2 seed who went through Lincoln Financial Field. This year, you have the Packers who were limping into the playoffs. Now you got the Niners, and you're favored. You should still beat the Niners.
Small favorite.
But still, you may be on the road in the second round.
Yep.
It's a huge difference, and it was worth going for it. It was worth going for it. I believe that I'm going to put Howie Roseman's name first because screw Nick Sirianni. Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, you thought you were going to walk in and beat a bad Commanders team. And you know what, Ray Dunn? 2 weeks ago, Dan Quinn after the game, we'll see him in 2 weeks. Couple of Commanders players, we'll see him in 2 weeks. Oh, and I laughed at him. Ha, 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 you losers. Loser. You guys are soft. You'll see us in 2 weeks. F you, middle finger. And you know what? They punked the Eagles yesterday. They punked Howie Roseman. They punked Nick Sirianni, and they punked me. They did. Well,
and exactly that, too, John, because I feel like, of course, missing out on the 2 seed, the chance to host a divisional round at the Link, if the Seahawks slip up, maybe in the NFC Championship game at home. And that stings, no question. But I feel like we're letting them off the hook. Now, you might not, but I feel like there's a lot of people that are letting them off the hook because the focus needs to be on the game itself and how completely unacceptable it was to lose that game. Once again, Josh Johnson.
He had a career day.
And he's been in 2008. He
1
was
and 10
drafted.
as a starter.
2008. It's 2026.
Yep.
And he came in, and they didn't sack him. That's number one. And moving off of Josh Johnson, just on the Eagles' offense, like the play calling again. Tank Bigsby had it going. Tank Bigsby was the best player on the field, and he didn't touch the ball in the fourth quarter.
Nope.
Like, he picks up big chunk yards. He's going a million miles a minute. As I said, the best player on the field. And he picks up a first down, and that was the last time he saw it in the third quarter. Indefensible on this play calling. I don't know what they thought they had in Tanner McKee, if they wanted to get him to roll out or maybe an audition tape. But he didn't look good yesterday.
He was awful.
And they should have panicked, and they should have found a way to win that football game, and they did not do it.
I mean, change the players, but you don't change the play calling and the game management. Because that you saw the same thing yesterday that you've seen all season long.
Yep.
It didn't make sense. McKee was off. He wasn't protected well. Even when he was protected, he was holding on to the ball too long. He was trying to scramble like he actually has a lot of athletic ability. You're not Jalen Hurts, dude. You're not trying to make guys miss. He dropped back 45 times.
Yeah.
45 dropbacks. 16 carries for Tank Bigsby. He was your best offensive player on the field, by the way, and it's not even close.
Yep.
You know how many carries Tank Bigsby should have had yesterday? 50. How about 30 carries? How about 25 carries? How about 40 carries? He's your best offensive player. And here's one more thing. Oh, we're so worried about injuries. You can't put your guys out there that might get injured. Why is Devontae Smith out there for 1,000 yards? Is that what's important to the big picture? Because if you're willing to put him out there, it can't really be that big of a risk of injury. Otherwise, you would never put him out there. Saquon didn't go out there for 2,000 yards, and they made the right decision. It's not about individual records.
Yep.
1,000-yard receiver in a 17-game series, whoop-de-damn-do. You're risking him out there, right? Even if it's for a quarter or however long he was out there for it, I'm happy for Devontae. He's my favorite player on the Eagles. He is.
Yeah.
I could sit here and I can scream about Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni's decision. To your point, if Patullo can call plays, if Nick Sirianni has half of a clue, if their backups are better.
Yeah.
What happened on Friday, Ray? We were talking about the decision, and then I said, okay, let's look at what the team's going to look like. And what did we say? I don't know if I like this now. I mean, this team stinks.
That's a B team right there.
Yeah, like, no, it's a C team.
And that's a guy that doesn't need to be playing in the league when I'm talking about Ringo. Get him off the dang team already.
He's awful, and he shouldn't be able to wear that 7.
Yeah.
And so, like, in a game that ended up mattering, you decided to go with your backups that were awful, and it cost you the number 2 seed. So phone calls coming up, 610-632-0975. We had said it. We have a long segment here. So we'll do phone calls next segment. 610-632-0975. Ray Dunn, you've patiently waited to me screaming and yelling. What are your thoughts on yesterday?
And I think my take is now the patiently waiting take, where I've gone from the anger I had yesterday of, oh, my God, I had to watch Keely Ringo and Jacorian Bennett in the secondary. I had to watch Tanner McKee. And for a year of all these people screaming, you got to give McKee a chance. You got to get McKee in there. And then for him to look like that, I got past that, and I woke up today, and my initial thought was, you know what? They did have enough to win that game. They did the same thing in the second half that's driven me crazy all year long. The play calling sucked. The offense was out of rhythm, and every single time they ran a passing play, there's Ross Tucker on the broadcast with, well, nobody's open. Nobody's open. Nobody's open. They can't scheme somebody open, and they haven't been able to scheme somebody open from week 1. Doesn't matter. Darius Cooper, doesn't matter A.J. Brown. It wouldn't matter if they had Justin Jefferson. They're not scheming anybody open. It's been a consistent theme with this team. Their passing game stinks, and it's not the fault of the quarterback. And it's not the fault of Tanner McKee yesterday. It's not the fault of Jalen Hurts when he plays. It's the fault of this coaching staff because they should have had enough to beat Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson tried to hand you the game multiple times. You didn't take the points in the one scenario because you're so damn arrogant that your backups are going to be able to put up points that you don't just kick that field goal. Instead, hey, let's try and throw it. We got Cam Williams playing his first time out here on the offensive line. It's his first series of his life. Yeah, we'll go for it on 4th down. We'll drop back the quarterback on a 4th and 1 with the offensive tackle that's ever played. Yeah, real smart, real bright decision there from that coaching staff. Really, really love
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
The work that they put together out there. It's, to me, yes, resting the starters, that is A1. That is front page news. That is what we should be mad about because they gave away a chance of the 2 seed. You should have this 2 seed today because you should have been able to coach yourself to a victory over Josh Johnson, and they failed at doing that.
Yep.
I thought I was losing my mind last night because the majority, I would say we're in the minority, believe it or not, on social media. Eagles fans out there, friends. Mike Gill, as you said, was out there, pounding the pavement for his take, and I respect all these takes. That's fine. But I was losing my mind because I just said, like, when you get the bracket in your hand and you say, well, that could have been us at the bottom of the bracket, the 2 seed, where you have a home game against the Green Bay Packers or the 49ers, I don't care. Packers are beat up. I would much rather play the Packers, but I'm not fearing anybody. That's fine. Oh, by the way, the next round, you got a home game. Interesting. And, oh, by the way, if you happen to make an NFC Championship game, just like last year, people seem to forget that they weren't the best team in the NFC last year.
2 seed.
And they got a home game in the NFC Championship game. Oh, by the way, John Marks, 7-1. 7-1 in the playoffs at home in the last 4 seasons for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And do you know who likely Seattle's going to have to play in the second in their first game, the second round?
I believe the LA Rams are you going to go at?
Yep.
Okay. How about this? The Eagles, who are great on the road. I'm not trying to say they're a bad team on the road. But listen to this. They're 26-8 in the last 4 seasons at home. It's the second best record in the NFL, only behind one team. You know who that one team is? The team that they just went up in 2 weeks and beat in their home, Buffalo. The home playoff game, I can't believe there are people out there that are saying this out loud or tweeting this, that rest and health are more important than a home playoff game, home environment at Lincoln Financial Field. I just have such a hard time believing that people really do believe this. But they're saying it with their chest.
Yeah, by all means, the phone number is 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. It is Middays with Marks. That's Sean Brace. Ray Dunn is also in the house. Get your texts in. Get your phone calls in. We'll take some of your reaction coming up next. I thought Tanner McKee was going to have a great game. I thought he was going to come out and throw the ball all around. I didn't predict the Eagles were going to lose.
No.
But I was very much I don't like the idea of resting the starters because the opportunity, even though at the end of the week I said the Bears are still going to win, I think everybody agreed that game was a toss-up, and no one would have been surprised if the Lions won the game, which they did.
Correct.
I would have been surprised if the Jags lost to the Titans.
Yep.
I would have been shocked if the Jags lost to the Titans. I would have been shocked if the Broncos lost to the Chargers. And they played their starters. The Texans played their starters. The Patriots played their starters. So you couldn't have played your starters. The Texans yanked their starters when they said the game's over. We're going to take our starters out. We can't win the division. We're going to take the starters out. Eagles couldn't have done the same thing. They prioritize health over winning, or did they think they were just going to win the game by going out there? And if their play calling didn't suck and their offense didn't suck, maybe it would have. A lot of other things happening in the game as well. We'll get to your phone calls coming up. Also, the Eagles' decision backfired, but they also got trolled by the Bears because of it. We'll play that for you coming up next. How disastrous was this decision for the Eagles? Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about my good friends over at Morgenstern Hair Restoration. That's right. All right, so the phone number, it's a new phone number. 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, you can see my beautiful hair. It's nice and thick. And I wouldn't have this hair.
You do have good hair, bro.
I have good hair. Morgenstern, I have Sean's hair if it didn't happen. But if you've been online, Instagram, Facebook, you've seen some commercials out there, and you're like, oh, well, let me try this spray, let me try this foam, let me try this shampoo, and none of them have worked for you because I tried the same things. Let me give you something that does work. Morgenstern Hair Restoration, the experts, a team that's been in the business for over 30 years. They did my hair. New year, new hairline. So this is your year. Own it. And right now, Morgenstern Hair is offering $500 off your FUE hair transplants for new patients. So that's $500 off. And if you'd like to reach out to me, all right, since I had the procedure done and my results are amazing, go to my social medias at John, Jon, Marks, M-A-R-K-S Media, at John Marks Media. You can see what it looks like. You can DM me. My DMs are wide open. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. I have other pictures that I can send you, having gone through the process as well, before, during, and after pictures. But if you're worried about your hair and you say, you know what, I'd like my hair back, you can get your hair back with Morgenstern Hair. 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR or morgensternhair.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Second team, second guessing. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles rested their stars and fell 24-17 to the Commanders, losing out on a chance to get the NFC's second seed after the Bears lost to the Lions yesterday as well. After the game, Sirianni said he didn't regret resting his starters in this one.
You go through your process. You make what you think is the best decision for the football team, and that's what we did. One thing I could guarantee was giving them rest. I couldn't guarantee anything else, and us going into the playoffs healthy is a big deal for us.
Right or wrong, it results in the Eagles getting the third seed in the postseason. Eagles hosting the 49ers at 4:25 on Sunday in the NFC wildcard round. Tonight, the 76ers look for a fourth consecutive win when they host the Nuggets at 8:30. You catch the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And the Phillies this morning announced that they've hired Don Mattingly to be their new bench coach. This update is brought to you by AAA Tire and Auto Service. Save up to $30 on auto repair with AAA Triple Play. Only at AAA Tire and Auto Service. Offer valid through January 31st. Details at AAA.com/mycar. I'm Ray Tone, your home for the Sixers Flyers, the best birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
some teams, they rest their starters. We don't. We play football, and,
At Ben Johnson after the loss? Well, you played your starters and you lost anyway, Ben. Maybe you should have played your reserves, you loser. But yeah, who are the teams that had something to play for that rested their starters?
I can only think of one, John.
All right, so here's where I'll say it would be okay. If the Eagles were playing the same level of football they were playing last year.
Okay.
To where, remember last year, everybody was saying you can't win like this, and then I think by the end of the year, we all said, yeah, you actually can win like this. They weren't the number one overall seed, but you felt like the Eagles could win a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
The defense makes me feel like the Eagles could win a Super Bowl. The offense certainly doesn't make you feel like the Eagles could win a Super Bowl. It's not out of the realm of possibility, like whatever. They can still do it. But you're a defending Super Bowl champion. I get it. You have the resume, but this offense isn't playing well enough to where I'm okay with being like, oh, yeah, like we don't need it. Like, no, you know what? Is being honest question. How important was the chance to be the number 2 overall seed? Because the very unlikely situation of being the number 1 seed for the Patriots, it was worth putting their starters out there. To win the division in the South, the Texans were comfortable putting their starters out there, as unlikely as that was. That's all for positional seeding. We already I feel like I don't even need to explain this. Being the number 2 seed and having the Packers in the first round, and then you're playing who in the second round if and when you beat the Packers. Then you're playing.
Well, you just flip it. The Bears would have been the 3, right?
Right. If the Bears win, now you're playing potentially the Bears.
Yeah.
And then the Seattle Seahawks are playing probably the Rams.
Correct.
That's a divisional game. That's a really tough matchup for Seattle coming out of their first game. They don't have the playoff experience that the Rams do. The Rams could beat anybody on any field. The potential for you hosting the NFC Championship game is just as likely as the Bears losing to the Lions. It's a real possibility.
Look, we often go back and look at the championship teams, and I'm not trying to, go into other sports, but I will just for the sake. Like, sometimes you need the luck. Sometimes you need the ball to bounce your way. I know you understand this reference because we've talked about this quite a few times in our previous heyday. The Phillies, remember in 2008, when everything's set up perfectly, right? They were able to line up Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels started game 1, and he started game 1 in the following series. Like, those are the certain things that you need.
Matchups matter.
To win a championship. Now, when you are one of the greatest teams the NFL has ever seen, like last year, maybe not. It's not as important. But forgive me for not believing in this year's Eagles team. Oh, by the way, I'm not scared of anybody. I just want to put that caveat out there because the text line and YouTube chat, John, are coming after us as usual. They love my shirt, but number 1. But number 2, you guys are scared. I'm not scared of anybody. I'm just going off a percentage. It's like win probability, John. Win probability. If you got an opportunity to kick a field goal and go up by 4, or if you picked up this first down, you're able to run out the clock, the win probability is in your favor by so much more. That's all I'm referencing here. The Eagles having a home game at that environment. I was at 2 out of the 3 NFC Championship games. The 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings, those teams didn't have a chance in hell at winning. They didn't have a chance at hell at winning those games.
In large part because Josh Johnson was playing in the game, but he got his revenge.
Oh, my goodness. Josh Johnson, some of the teams he's played for.
Ray brought it up, the decision to go for it on 4th and 2 from the 6 rather than kick the field goal. In a game like that against Josh Johnson, it's an easy decision. Any chance you get, you have to take points, you take them. Because they're going to be limited in how many points they can score. You don't go for it on 4th down inside the 10. You take the 6.
That's in my notes.
Especially when your team stinks.
The notes.
And Tanner McKee stinks. And you know what? If Cooper doesn't spin the ball and get the 15-yard penalty, that might have been a touchdown. That might have cost him the game right there. But Cooper, and you saw it was a Calcaterra that kind of drug him away after he saw him do it. Was it the most egregious penalty I've ever seen? No, it really wasn't. If you're going to spin the ball at a player, guess what? You're leaving it up to the referees to be nice or not be nice. So I can't blame the refs for that at all.
There was a lot of that yesterday.
with you?
Yeah, Pierce getting thrown out of the game. That was absurd. It's like, come on, man. Yeah, Tanner McKee, it's frustrating because, as we talked about, like, we don't want to lose sight of this was a winnable football game, and I think there's plenty of blame to go around, but I just expected him to play better. I know that the Eagles brassed it as well. 5 for 14 for 40 yards and 3 drives in the fourth quarter. Like, well, come on, man. He was missing wide open receivers. And like I said, John, I was just questioning, like, were they trying to audition him? Were they trying to show, like, look what he's capable of? Had him rolling out of the pocket? Like, what's going on?
I said it on Friday. I would said how much of this has to do with them thinking they can get a first-round draft pick by putting him out there and having him throw the ball all over the place. Tim McManus joined us, and I asked Tim about it.
Yeah.
And Tim said that he knows for a fact
He's
that
connected.
in the offseason, teams were very interested in Tanner McKee, and the Eagles elected not to. We're offering real value, too. And they elected not to trade him.
My buddy texted me and said, Mark, he said, kind of looks like just an overweight Kevin Cobb at this point in time. It's like, damn. I don't want to rip a man, but, look, a lot of people were building up McKee. And I saw him play last year, those 2 games, and he looked
great, yep.
But, man, that was an opportunity, a golden opportunity to get that 2 seed to win a home football game, and he failed to do so.
All right, let's take some phone calls here. We have Matt. Matt's in Delco. Matt, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey,
What's up, Matt?
I mean, this is I don't want to jump all over you guys, but this is complete ridiculousness. I mean, the Eagles right now, in my opinion, are the best team in National Football League. We're getting healthy. Or Jalen Hurts, the team's playing well. Oh, because they don't score a lot of points in the second half or this and that. They win the game. I'm not scared of any team right now that we're playing and our team's healthy. And then if we played our guys and one of the Jalen Hurts gets hurt, all of a sudden Nick's completely wrong. The team did something wrong, and to say that health is less important than home field advantage is absolutely ridiculous to me.
Let me ask you a question. Real quick. Let me ask you a question. What was more likely to happen yesterday? Jalen Hurts got injured and wasn't able to play in the playoffs, or the Bears lost?
Now you're getting into statistical analysis?
No, I'm not doing statistical analysis. I'm saying that we're just assuming that the Eagles were going to have everybody injured in the game yesterday.
Yeah.
That's why you don't play them. It's far more likely that they remained healthy.
What I'm saying to you is the way your thought process is complete loser mentality. It's not a winning mentality.
You're saying the guys that wanted to go for the 2 seed to play everybody is loser mentality versus not
Yeah, 2 seed, 1 seed, 4 seed, 5 seed. Who cares? The only thing that matters is when you line up against that other team, you're the better team and you win. That's it. It doesn't matter where you play, who you play. That's it. The Philadelphia Eagles, there's no team in the NFL that scares me.
Well, that's fine, but are you aware? I'm with you. And if you listen to us, you know exactly. I said that I don't fear anybody. I'm right there with you. I'm in the shotgun seat with you. But you realize there are spreads, right? You realize like there's odds that are put out there, and they change due to where these games are being played. Like there's percentages that come in with this.
Would you rather play the Packers and the Niners? Would you rather play at home or on the road?
Thank you. That's it. Like. The home versus away.
No, the actual loser mentality is that you're so scared of injury that you're sitting.
I totally agree with you.
That's a loser mentality because who else did that in the NFL yesterday? All right, coming up, does Nick Sirianni deserve the benefit of the doubt for how healthy the Eagles have been? Ross Tucker seemed to believe that was the case on the broadcast yesterday. We'll play that for you, and we'd love to get some reaction on the phone lines. Plenty on the text right now. 610-632-0975. Are we going overboard and we're too emotional? Is it really that big of a deal? It's Middays with Marks with Sean Brace, 97.5 The Fanatic. watch on YouTube, either live, which many people are doing today, or you can go back and watch it whenever you want to. I'm not even saying good morning to the chat because I know I'd get mad.
Migs4022 just was like, what would happen, John Marks, if Smitty, Quignon, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Mailata, the list goes on and on. He literally named the whole roster, got hurt. And my question is, what happened down at the link? Did, Bane pop up out of nowhere from Batman? Did a bomb go off? How are all these guys getting hurt? They play 17 games in a season.
We'll break it down in a second because it's one thing that I've seen as well. But anyway, make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic on YouTube. And if you don't want to watch the video, the audio is available wherever you find your podcasts. Just get it. Leave us a 5-star review, Ray. Nothing else but 5 stars. That's all we
We
deserve.
don't accept anything less.
Nope. We
won't acknowledge it.
Ray will find you if you leave anything but a 5-star review.
That's true.
He will come after you. All right. So it's risk reward. Is it worth risking injury? And by the way, the quarterback has managed to stay healthy the entire season. And all these other players that were going to get injured have managed to stay healthy the entire season. But correct. Mm-hmm. Somebody could go down with a hamstring injury, a concussion. Anytime you're going out on the field, there's a risk of injury.
A.J. Brown, 2023.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly right. Someone could get injured. It's risk reward. Is the reward of you play your starters because there's something to play for, does that outweigh the risk of injury? I know Calcaterra went down. I mean, does he have a serious injury? I saw him running around on the sideline yesterday. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Calcaterra, I'd care if it was Goddard.
How about the image of him without a helmet on? I go, whoa, that's what he looks like.
I didn't know that either. If you would have given the shot of what Eagle player is this, the guy with the mustache, a bad mustache, I would have had no idea. Ray has a much better mustache than Calcaterra.
I think it's coming back in 2026. I think I have to do it at
the
least.
year of the stash.
Did you see Ray's mustache?
I think I did, yeah.
Ron Burgundy-esque.
Ron Burgundy, yeah.
All right.
He pulls it off.
Yeah, I could dig it.
He could wear it, for sure. He didn't keep it, though. He didn't even keep it for a day. He used it for Halloween, and he shaved it right off.
I could see Ray in a handlebar mustache,
For sure.
right?
With the wax. You put the wax in.
Oh, now, little
yeah.
Raleigh fingers action.
Yep.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, what happened yesterday was that, for sure, it was worth the risk of going out and playing a football game, and because you can't be scared of injury. You don't want to be stupid about things. If there was nothing to play for yesterday, you don't put your starters out there. I wouldn't have put my starters out there. I'm sure you'd like to be hot going into that's where it's not worth it. There's nothing to play for, but our offense hasn't looked all that good. No, that's still not a reason to put your starters out there. Yesterday felt like a preseason game that mattered. So I'm watching the whole game because it's bad on both sides. Both teams aren't good. The Eagles are worse.
Yeah.
And it's like you're watching a preseason game that may end up deciding whether the Eagles are the 2 or the 3 seed. Think about that. The Eagles had an opportunity to nail down the number 2 seed yesterday, and they elected to go into the game with a very hard head and said, nope, we're going to rest our starters. Everybody else in the NFL elected not to do that, and the Texans yanked their starters off the field when they're like, well, there's no chance for the Jags are going to lose.
Yeah, and that's one part that really comes back to me. It's like, can't you walk and chew bubble gum at the same time? Like, you got a gigantic scoreboard. There's multiple scoreboards around the link. You got plenty of people on the staff that can keep you up to date. I mean, hell, if Nick Sirianni wanted to pull his phone out or use one of those tablets and just have the game experience pop up and tell you what they're doing, that would have been fine with me. Like, can't you manage the game the same way? Like, can't you do both at the same time? It was very odd to me that people were up against that. No. Well,
Right.
You know what the score was, and it's like, well, they do too.
Right.
And by the way, as you pointed out, the Houston Texans operated in that manner. So that's
they had C.J. Stroud out there. The Texans are a team that legitimately can get to the Super Bowl. Their defense is nasty. That's a really good team.
And that's a favorable wild card matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sure is.
Yep.
Yeah. But you know what they did? They said, you know what? It's worth it because there's still a chance to win the division. There was a chance the Eagles could be the number 2 seed, and they elected not to go for it. I think, do we agree in large parts they thought they were going to beat them anyway?
Yes. That's 100% on my mind. Yep. And they should have. But they did not, and now here we are.
No, they definitely should have. Tanner McKee was awful. The interception, the red zone interception, was awful.
Brutal.
The decision to not kick the field goal, the Darius Cooper 15-yard penalty, which took him out inside the 5-yard line right there. Do they get a touchdown there? I don't know. There's sure a lot better chance they get a touchdown there that they don't, right?
You know, it's frustrating, too, from the standpoint of, like, don't you want to simplify the game a little bit for your backups? And you're talking about a team that's leading the NFL in red zone efficiency, right? Like, that's a number, that's a stat you want to be top of the charts. And here the Eagles are getting fancy, getting tricky with it inside the red zone. And you got Tank Bigsby just chewing up. Like, that's the biggest criminal deal for me, guys. Is
He
the
got
fact
16 carries.
Like, and nothing in the fourth quarter.
Not one.
When it's go time.
And
I'm not doing a good enough job.
No,
he
you're not.
run, and they forgot about him. He runs hard. Tanner McKee dropped back 45 times, and he was bad. Everybody saw that he was struggling yesterday. The offensive line protection wasn't good. Even when he got protection, he wasn't able to maneuver around in the pocket. He was scrambling instead of throwing the balls away. He was awful. Here's Ross Tucker at the end of the broadcast yesterday on CBS.
And having grown up around here, Kevin, I can tell you, if they don't get this win, there's going to be second guessing of Sirianni's decision. I guess the point I would make about that is, once again, they have an NFL low 23 starter games missed due to injury. They have been remarkably healthy the last few years. I think they've probably earned the benefit of the doubt in that regard. More teams should probably do whatever the Eagles do to keep their guys healthy.
So it's from my understanding, is the week one starters are all healthy.
Right.
Versus the other teams around the league that are dealing with some starters from week one that are beat up.
Okay.
Is that your understanding?
That's the number, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to follow up by saying this, and this is, I always try to push back a little bit and give the other side. Nick Sirianni knows his team. Howie Roseman knows this team. And to what Ross just said there, does he deserve the benefit of the doubt?
What does that have to do with Week 17? What does the first 16 games have to do with the track record of Nick Sirianni keeping guys healthy? This is Week 17. What are we talking about? It literally has nothing to do with anything.
The fact that they've been healthy all the way through this season?
Right, but what does that have to do with Week 17? What do you do? What has he done? Was he not rested? Was he resting starters during the season?
Yeah.
The hell does that have to do with anything? Ray, help me out. You have the highest SATs. Your SAT scores combined, Sean and I have the lower SAT score than you.
Absolutely.
Make that make sense, what the hell that means.
I'm assuming he's saying that the giant product here, the management that they do from the beginning of the season to the end, they do the best at taking care of the bodies of their guys. And they believe that the management they're doing here in this week puts them in a better position. It's the whole argument you're getting from anyone that's calling in or texting in or chiming in with the availability and health greater than that of seeding.
Give me the details of what that has to do with playing Week 17.
That they're not going to do it because they believe that being banged up.
But what did they do during the 16 weeks that made them so healthy? What did they do?
Well, during the week, the workload you put them through in the week, I think that's what they would point to.
But why would that have to change?
Got rid of Fast Food Tuesday.
Well, that definitely helps. All right, we'll talk about that on the other side. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Coming up on the other side, we have a long segment of over 20 minutes. That's a good time to get in at 610-632-0975. Everybody on the show is pretty much united in what we think of Nick Sirianni's decision and how bad the play calling was and everything else. Do you disagree? Because there's a lot of people out there that are saying they're the 3 seed. It's not worth the injury risk. You guys are making a big deal about nothing. We're not going to shout you down and yell at you. We want to have a nice, healthy discussion.
I think they've had a night to sleep on it, and they realize that they were wrong.
610-632-0975. It's Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Second teamers, no second seed. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. That's brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call 610-980-4000. The Eagles rested their stars and fell 24-17 to the Commanders, losing out on a chance to get the NFC's second seed after the Bears lost to the Lions yesterday. After the game, Sirianni was asked whether or not he regretted the decision to rest the starters, and he does not.
You go through your process. You make what you think is the best decision for the football team, and that's what we did. One thing I could guarantee was giving them rest. I couldn't guarantee anything else, and us going into the playoffs healthy is a big deal for us.
Whether he's right or wrong, it results in the Eagles getting third seed in the postseason. Eagles getting to host the 49ers at 4:25 on Sunday in the NFC wildcard round. Tonight, the 76ers look for a fourth consecutive win when they host the Nuggets at 8:30. You can hear the game right here on the Fanatic. And the Phillies this morning announced that they've hired Don Manley to be their new bench coach. This update is also brought to you by AAA Tire and Auto Service. Save up to $30 on auto repair with AAA Triple Play only in AAA Tire and Auto Service. Offer valid through January 31st. Details at AAA.com/mycar. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, the best bird stock in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Let's dive into some of the awful play from the Eagles yesterday. We're back middays with Marks, John Marks, Sean Brace.
Hello.
Ray Diggity Dunn. The Josh Johnson, I almost said he looked like a Pro Bowler, which he didn't, but he's so awful. And the run for a touchdown where Keely Ringo, and I hate him wearing that number 7 because it's Jaws and Vic and like good players number.
Especially to Kelly Green, too.
Oh, my God. It hurts me on the inside. But someone photoshopped JT from the Orion Kirkring and pointed at and put him pointing at Ringo going the other way as Josh Johnson just casually runs into the end zone.
No situational awareness whatsoever. He was brutal. Ringo was brutal in coverage. It just Ross Tucker said on the broadcast as well, just keep throwing it. What are you doing? Just keep putting it in the air. He's going to get called for pass interference every time.
Every time.
And then the fact that he just left the quarterback and ran. And
with nobody there.
Nobody there. But I will say this. I forgot about that Orion Kirkring play for just a brief period. And now to bring that back up and have that on my mind. Ugh.
And Brandon Dutz, our YouTube producer, just popped it up there if you want to see it.
Oh, man.
Go into our YouTube.
That would
97.5 The Fanatic. Subscribe. But Brandon just had it up there. It's also, Ray, did you put it up on our on Twitter page? All right, at 975 Middays.
John, we're talking about a 39-year-old journeyman, 1 career win in 17 seasons. Last touchdown pass on November 11, 2021, sir. Oh, by the way, I said this earlier. Dude was drafted in 08. It's 2026. He had stints with the Los Angeles Wildcats of the XFL, the San Diego Fleet of the AAF. I'll give you $15 if you can tell me what the AAF stands for.
The Alliance of American Football.
I owe you $15. And the Sacramento Mountain Lions of the UFL. We're talking about some of the best of the best.
The Sacramento Mountain Lions?
Oh, yeah.
How many games did the UFL?
Yes. How many?
I remember the UFL, but I don't remember great detail of it.
Good grief.
Jacorian Bennett. Remember, everybody was like, I don't understand why Jacorian Bennett's not getting any playing time. Yep. Now I do.
Yep.
He sucks.
Yeah, and it goes back to the bigger point, like as we're having fun at their expense and how bad those backups are. And you guys talked about it leading into the game, where it's like, yeah, I get it. You don't want those guys, your big starters, getting hurt. But, like, did you have to play Quinyon? You could have sat Quinyon, Mitchell.
So, by the way, for all the truthers that everybody on your whole team was going to get injured if you played him.
Yeah.
Did Jordan Davis play? Mm-hmm. Didn't he play almost the whole game?
Played a lot, John.
Right? So, but is he playing that? Did he get hurt? Is he out for the season?
He did.
So he's not. Sean's been hurt. Been sick for weeks.
Sick for a couple weeks now.
No, but he's okay.
He is good.
He managed to make it through the game.
Big Jordan Davis.
Okay, so some of the starters actually did play, and there's no injury. What about some other players? Because the whole team didn't get injured. Right?
No.
I just have to check to make sure where I'm at here. And by the way, Ray, I feel vindicated as the president of the Adoree Jackson fan club. Adoree Jackson looks like friggin' Deion Sanders right now compared to some of these other players.
Pretty good call.
Man.
Pretty good call.
It's incredible. I mean, it was really incredible. Every single time, it's like they're not ever going to turn their head around. They're never going to turn around and try and find the ball. They are just going to tackle the wide receiver and hope that maybe the official's blind was turned somewhere else, that someone said, hey, look over here. Like, what was the game plan in trying to stop them?
They might as well put Sidney Brown on the defensive line because Jalix Hunt is better in coverage than Sidney Brown is. Jalix Hunt with another interception yesterday.
I was just looking up who the secondary coach is. And, of course, it's the NFL, so you have cornerback coaches, you have safety coaches, you got a little of everything. But no sacks. That was disappointing. Not one sack.
All right, are you ready, Ray? I'm going to tip the hat to you, and I've given you a lot of crap for this with Brandon Graham. It was painful to have to watch Brandon yesterday run around with those reserves and not make one friggin' play. Painful. Painful it was. I actually felt bad. I'm like, just get him out of the game. Stop putting him in the game. I don't want to see it. He's a step behind everybody. He's not getting to the quarterback. He's at defensive end trying to get to the, not getting any pressure on anything like that. As the president of, I don't want to remember Brandon Graham's last image of being on a bad football team. Yesterday, that was pretty bad.
Yep. Hey, listen, he did make a nice play there on that last drive. I think a 3rd and 4.
Thank you, 97.5.
He did. You're right.
You got the big hit. I know that Hartland gave credit to Trotter, and I was like, whoa. Make sure you give credit to BG on that one because I want to make sure that when I get my texts.
He actually made the tackle.
Yeah, he did.
And then Trot hit him up high, but Brandon actually made the tackle.
BG did the work there. But, yeah, you know.
And it's funny because Trot actually played well. He
did play
plays.
well.
Yeah.
He did
Love, the celebration. Come on. That is just incredible, obviously, to his old man.
Now, his dad, in today's standards, they don't make linebackers like they did. Trot was 260 pounds.
A little bit bigger.
They don't make many linebackers in today's NFL like Trot. But I agree with you. Not everybody sucked for the Eagles. Not every reserve sucked. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is a real NFL player.
Oh, yeah.
And at some point, he's probably going to be a starter. But he's one of these, like maybe nickel linebackers or when you need somebody to come in because of injury, he can play.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Look, and I know we started the show. This is the topic. It was being discussed everywhere on all national media. Of course, locally, you are going to start with this topic. And I don't want to crush him because it was a good season, John, right? And you look at everything being wrapped up in the NFL, and I can't wait for, of course, the news at noon and a little bit of what's the other segment that I do? I'm sorry, John.
How about that?
Thank you. I apologize, right?
How about that?
Yeah.
In stereo.
There you go. But you're talking about the league itself, the only team to go back-to-back and win the division, Philadelphia Eagles, right? Like,
Yep.
You know, and
So much good.
Yeah, you can keep your positive spin.
How about the
Come talk to
1,000
me on
yards,
Wednesday.
John
Hell
Marks? 1,000 yards.
Oh, Devontae risking injury. How did he stay healthy to get the 1,000 yards?
AJ and Devonta, the only wide receiver duo in Eagles history to each produce 1,000 yards receiving in the same season. They've done it not once, not 2 times, but 3 times, John Marks.
We'll go to the phones in a second. All right? But and by the way, like you mentioned, Sean, we know that there's still a lot of good with this Eagles team.
Yes.
I'm going to get over this by maybe Wednesday, Thursday.
Maybe.
So much good.
Friday. All right, I'm going to pick my but I'm sorry. It was a stupid decision to not play your starters. Stupid.
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
Stupid. And you know what? The hell with Nick Sirianni. Howie Roseman. You think Nick Sirianni, like Howie said on Friday, oh, by the way, what are we doing for the game? And Howie didn't have. You think Howie Roseman's letting Nick Sirianni unilaterally make a decision on playing starters? Of course not.
So, but there's a conversation, and look, it's a similar situation to Saquon last year, and how they approached that. So here we are, sitting them. But the issue I have with that, John, is Sirianni gets up on, the press conference table and says on a microphone that, yeah, it's my decision. I got to take him at his word. So if I'm placing blame, I start with Nick Sirianni, but I know that Howie Roseman has a big say in how this thing operates.
Yep. Of course he does. All right, let's go to the phones. And by the way, the fact that Devontae Smith played, even if it was, how long did he play? A quarter?
I think he did get pulled at the quarter break.
Whenever he made the catch, they pulled him.
Yeah,
it was about a quarter.
It was the quarter break.
Terrifying catch, too.
What a grab.
Great catch. But 2 defenders there, I was like, please, just stand up.
But isn't that every catch he makes, he feels like he slams his back into the ground?
That's signature. That's a signature catch.
Yeah, I love Devontae Smith.
The Jumpman logo.
Love him. And my daughter got the Devontae Smith jersey. They all ended up getting jerseys. All of them.
Real ones?
Real ones.
Nice. Look at you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's awesome. The one wanted jersey. Only one jersey. The other one's in one jersey. $100 Rally House.
Yep.
So then I needed to exchange it to get a bigger size, and we all go. I want Saquon Barkley.
Oh.
I want Jalen Hurts. So I'm walking out with 3 jerseys, 3 Kelly Green jerseys.
Yeah, that will run the tab up.
But,
Hell yeah.
But seriously, you're risking Devontae Smith's health? Did he make it out alive? Did he manage? Talk about a huge risk. 25% of a game. He went out there. For an individual, wouldn't you say that's more ridiculous than anything that they put him out there? If you're so worried about injury, why the hell do you care about him getting 1,000 yards? I don't.
Absolutely right there with you. And Jordan Davis, too. I know the morning show was talking about this topic. If you had to name the most important 5 Eagles,
Jordan Davis is easily.
Jordan Davis is on that list.
He's a Pro Bowl. I know he didn't make the Pro Bowl. He was a Pro Bowl lineman this year. Let's go to Ish in Levittown. Ish, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Johnny. How are you? How are you, Sean?
Ish.
Hey, how are you? With the game, I agree with you guys. I was really sick when I seen the Lions lose, and we still had an opportunity to win the game. I think at this point we just have to play who's in front of us, but blame goes all around, and I think we could beat the 49ers, so I'm not really afraid.
I am too, but Ish, here's what everybody that doesn't have a problem with what the Eagles did. I need you to make a pledge because I ain't having it. They lose to the 49ers. I'm not having it. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear. Oh, wait, they shut up. Nope. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that it's not okay anymore. All right, I'm just putting that out there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I can't argue with that. And we got to see what happens on Saturday. That's the biggest thing.
We're playing Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, we're playing Sunday.
Oh, Sunday.
Right.
My bad. Yeah, Sunday.
That's right.
Yeah, I think we should win. So.
All right, so Ish isn't all that worried about it. Honestly, I'm not all that worried about it either. Right? I'm more worried about the 2 seed than the game against the Niners.
Yes.
Because if this team can't beat the Niners, they weren't going to go to the Super Bowl anyway.
Correct. Well, correct, yeah.
But like you had said about the Cole Hamels 2008 Phillies, and it's true. So the second to last game of the season, they get that double play and they end up winning.
Against
If
the
they,
Nats,
if
yep.
they lost that game, they would have had to start Cole Hamels on the final game of the season. Winning the game meant they didn't have to start Hamels, and like you had said, it lined up everything to where he ended up starting game one, and then he was able to start game one. He was able to start game one. The matchup for the Phillies in 2008 benefited them. The Rays weren't all that good. I think the Red Sox were the best team in the American League that year. It ended up being a really good matchup for the Phillies, and you had Cole Hamels starting every game. So matchups do matter. Last year, do they win and go to the Super Bowl if they don't have home field? I don't know. I mean, it certainly was beneficial to them.
Yeah, it definitely makes life more difficult. If you had to go to the Dome or if you had to go to, the West Coast.
How about the Rams playing them in the snow, which was a very competitive game? That
There
was
you go.
home field. That home field matters.
People were telling me last couple weeks, Seattle, it's a death sentence. You can't go to Seattle and win the game. Well, there's a good possibility they're going to have to. And again, that had nothing to do with yesterday, but and this is pointed out too, John. I just want to put this out there because maybe I bit off a little bit more than I could chew. They do have an opportunity to beat the Bears in the next round. So if they do that and the Seahawks do lose to the Rams, then the Eagles would have the home
They
field.
could host it, sure.
Correct.
They
So
could.
There is that possibility. I had a hard time, two things. One, last night when the bracket was in your hand and you just saw the path, people were still anti, as far as playing the starters. And the second one was just the fact that, you're going to tell me that rest and health is more important than a home atmosphere, a home environment, especially in this city, in the playoffs. I can't get down with you on that. You're wrong.
Sean has the actual bracket in his hand that he's looking at.
Oh, right here. I'm dialed in. I already filled it out. Eagles win it all, all right? Just for the record, the Eagles are winning it all.
Before we go back to the phones, is this Sirianni on Devontae going for 1,000 yards, or is this Devontae going for it?
Devontae talking about going for 1,000.
Oh, I don't care about that. Let's hit Nick Sirianni and his explanation for the locker room. So it's Nick Sirianni and Reed Blankenship, but we'll start with Sirianni.
Sirianni asked if he was regretting playing the start.
Here's Sirianni.
No, again, you go through your process. You make what you think is the best decision for the football team, and that's what we did. I knew this was an outcome that these things could happen. Like I said to you guys, one thing I could guarantee was giving them rest. I couldn't guarantee anything else. And us being healthy and going into the playoffs healthy is a big deal for us, and that's served us well in the past. And so, again, I know there'll be debate on that, but again, I have to do what's best, what I think is best for the football team moving forward, and that's what I did.
Okay. His decision, by the way, I just want to say this. While I think it was so wrong, isn't totally asinine. He wanted his team healthy, and they thought they were going to beat the Commanders with their reserves.
Yep.
Because if you would have thought that there was a possibility you were going to lose, not a possibility because there's always the possibility, but you have to believe that the Eagles thought the most likely scenario was that they were going to win with their reserves. Otherwise, they don't do it. Otherwise, it's a foolish decision. Because just because you play your reserves doesn't mean you have to lose. You're necessarily going to lose the game.
That's correct. They were still favored.
Just like by playing your starters doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hurt the health of your team. Right? Just because you play your starters doesn't mean you're chalking up injuries.
I see it both ways.
Let me ask you this. What top players in the NFL yesterday were injured and aren't going to be able to play in the playoffs? I mean, it's a rhetorical question, but I think I know the answer.
Kyle Hamilton did pick up an injury. Now the Ravens got eliminated.
And they were playing winning in, but still, that's a...
He did get hurt.
Okay.
That's the one.
All right.
Look, injuries happen. They could have happened against Buffalo. And John, if rest was so important, and you brought up the Bills game, I'll take it a step further. Why not sit some of these guys for the Raiders? You knew darn well you were going to win that game. If rest was so important and they did get those guys out of there in the second half, maybe why don't we start looking at that approach? Or am I out of my mind? I don't know. I think not going for the 2 seed, you're out of your mind. But if we're going to get nuts, let's get nuts.
Let's go to Alex in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Good morning, Alex.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to try to make the case that nobody's making. All right, I need everybody to take a deep breath, especially you, Johnny Mark.
Yes.
Nice.
Listen, we're talking about our world-class organization, the Eagles. We got to give them the benefit of the doubt. These guys played 21 games last year, guys. And to me, let me ask you guys, why do you think the offensive line struggled for so much of this year. You know, to me, it's because of all the football they've played and the physical brand of football that they play.
Yep.
To me, I needed a week for the big Hogs to rest and get ready for the playoffs.
But, all right, so let me follow up. That was in my plan. That was like Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens were going to sit. Now, you could follow up and say, you really going to play Jalen Hurts behind a backup offensive line? And that's fair. But Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson were going to sit for me. Like, you didn't have to play those guys.
Toth was good when he came in for Cam Jurgens earlier in the year. But, I mean, like Alex, I see the other side of it.
Oh, yeah.
You're worried about somebody getting injured. You want to get rest. Worst case scenario, you're the number 3 seed. So here's what I would say to that. Why play him against the Bills? Why play any of these players against the Bills?
I mean, to me, the Bills win was a great win. You beat one of the best teams in the league on the road, and we go out on a high note.
You barely won the game. You gave it up. You didn't get a first down in the second half. There was no momentum from that game. People were pissed. It was a terrible win.
Well, I mean, the offense was abysmal in that game, but the defense was incredible.
Yeah, it was.
So I don't know. Look, let's just I would just love to get some positivity going into the playoffs. We're the defending champs. Let's make another run, guys. All right, thanks for taking my call.
I got some positive takes. I mean, look, when you look back at the season, as I said, one stat that you would love to be top of the mountain is the number 1 red zone efficiency, right? Like, that's a great number. That means when you get inside that red zone, you're scoring. Now, Tanner McKee did hurt our percentages yesterday, damn it, but still. And, oh, by the way, most tipped balls, I think 3rd in the NFL was mentioned on the broadcast yesterday. You got to love that on the defensive side of the ball. Those big mammoths up front getting their big old paws up, knocking the balls down. You saw it yesterday. Yeah, there's a lot of good. I'm not here to tell you that they're going to lose to the 49ers. Although, I just want to point this out. These numbers, anything sticking out to you as far as the odds are concerned? It's now up to 3.5 on DK over here. I know different books.
Bet Parks was 3.5 when I looked this morning.
All right, so they're running the same number. I thought it was a little light. I would have liked to see the Eagles a little bit more of a favorite.
On FanDuel, what was it, Ray, last week? They had the look-ahead line.
Okay.
They were underdogs against the Rams.
Sure.
They were 3-point favorites against the Packers, and they were 1.5 favorites against San Francisco.
Well, and San Francisco was running hot, too.
Right. So that number went up. So if it's the 3.5 now from what they were predicting or they were looking at that you could have bet last week, now it's 3.5.
A lot has to do with how they looked against Seattle.
Agreed, of course.
Yeah,
you're reacting to what happened against Seattle. That's also a really good defense. Like if nothing else than what I saw this weekend, Seattle's legit. And they could lose to the Rams because those division games in the playoffs are really, really tough. But the Seahawks defense is legit. They play dirty like the Eagles do. They don't want Darnold to kill them.
No.
They're going to run the football with 1 or 2 backs. They have 2 good running backs. They have some good skill guys. Their defense is really good.
Yeah, 173 yards. They limited Shanahan in that offense, too. Purdy had that tough turnover. I would just flip the script on Seattle and say, you only scored 13 against that defense? Like, I'm not buying the Seahawks, but it's going to be tough to go to the Pacific Northwest and win.
It's a tough matchup.
Yeah,
agreed.
You just know it's going to be tough.
Agreed.
But the 49ers, I do want to put this out there because I'm only on with you Mondays, so you got to get the take. And to a point, I guess in the first hour here we are kind of saying the same thing. A lot of us are just already talking about that second-round matchup like the 49ers are a foregone conclusion.
Oh, I'm not.
This is a good team. This is a really good offense that was averaging 34-plus points before, they won 6 out of their last 7 games and 34 points per game in the 8 games before the Seattle loss on Saturday. This is a really, really dynamic offense.
All right, so CJGJ, and I was watching this because I went over to Red Zone to watch the back and forth. He went down with a concussion, and he was out cold on the field. So that's another player that did get injured yesterday. But they were playing for the number 2 seed. They lost, but the Lions weren't playing for anything, and their starting quarterback was out there. You can make the case, well, what if Jared Goff tears his ACL? He's going to miss all next year.
St. Brown goes down with an injury. He's been banged up this year. Yeah, he's so
They all
talented.
played, and they went for it. Some NFL, this is called Black Monday for a reason. Why is it going to be Black Monday, man?
Well, I heard...
Why can't it be White Monday?
Connor said something in the morning show, Bloody Monday. I think I was like, ooh, that sounds good. I like
Black
that.
cat is bad luck. Bad guys
Yeah.
wear black.
Yeah.
Must have been a white guy that started all that. MC Search once said. Browns fire Kevin Stefanski.
Okay.
Their GM Andrew Berry keeps his job.
On a way out with the win, too.
Stefanski will get a job. That's the best. That's great for Stefanski. He'll have a couple teams waiting to hire him. He's a good coach. That's a bad team.
Can't win with the Cleveland Browns.
Nope. The Giants bring back their GM.
No way.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Falcons fired both their GM and their coach. That was last night.
Matt Ryan is apparently going to take over as GM.
Let me tell you something. Anything to get him off of TV, I'm all for.
You don't think he's good?
He's awful. I for the first time yesterday, I actually watched I watched Matt Ryan at halftime. My daughter's sick, and she's just laying on my lap, and I didn't feel like going over to Red Zone, so I couldn't find the remote. And I'm watching it, and I'd be like, is this really their studio show? This sucks.
Oh,
That's right, it stinks.
Matt Ryan, local guy, too.
Awful.
Yeah.
And a great guy, too. I did his I was a part of his foundation thing before. I love Matt.
Well,
Awful.
Maybe he feels the same way, and that's why he's like, yeah, it's time to get back to football.
Who else did you say was Pete Carroll whacked? No
Gone?
surprise there.
Yeah.
He's 74 years old.
I guess the one that is up in the air right now would be Harbaugh with the Ravens. What do they do?
Well, and that is they meet and they decide what they're going to do going forward. That's not a you're fired. That's maybe it's time to move on for both parties. I wonder what happens with Lamar. I mean, not for nothing. They kick a 44-yard field goal. They're in the playoffs, and the Steelers aren't. So it's not like they were that far. Like, if they kick that field goal, does that mean Harbaugh's that much better of a coach?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you're right.
But doesn't it feel like that something needs to change? And in Pittsburgh, too.
Man, he was pretty darn good last night. He was MVP Lamar Jackson out there.
He was.
And making some of those plays. Yeah, I don't know what's true and what's not, but there were a lot of that being discussed, and who knows.
All right, coming up, has the decision to rest the starters let the actual coaching of the game off the hook? The answer is yes. Should they just been able to win the game regardless? Because Bill in Levittown's coming up next. He's going to make the same case, that it's not about sitting the starters. It's the crappy job that they did, the coaches and the players. That's coming up next. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Second team, second guessing. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles rested their starters and fell 24-17 to the Commanders, losing out on a chance to get the NFC's second seed after the Bears lost to the Lions. After the game, Nick Sirianni said he does not regret sitting the starters.
You go through your process. You make what you think is the best decision for the football team, and that's what we did. One thing I could guarantee was giving them rest. I couldn't guarantee anything else, and us going into the playoffs healthy is a big deal for us.
Right or wrong, it results in the Eagles getting the third seed in the NFC. The Birds going to host the 49ers at 4:25 on Sunday in the NFC wildcard round. Tonight, the 76ers look for a fourth consecutive win when they host the Nuggets at 8:30. You can listen to the game live right here on The Fanatic. Phillies announced this morning that they've hired Don Mattingly to be their new bench coach. This update's brought to you by Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. A hotel might have been a bar, a resort, a spa, but if you want all and more, it's Borgata. Visit theborgata.com to learn more. Must be 21 up. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, the best Birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5 TheFanatic.com.
From Maniac Malloy, the senior content creator for Bet Parks. He says, this is all unnecessary pressure you're adding and the drama you have added to the season. You took a risk, and the worst outcome is what came of it. Now you got guys on the team wondering if it was the right decision, possibly unhappy about the decision, and you've put a ton of pressure on yourself to beat a really good football team now on Sunday. It just added a potentially very bad vibe for no reason at all. The element of what if has firmly been added to this season now.
I like that take, and I would also say that there were a lot of people, media members, and I respect a lot of their opinions when you do your due diligence and your work. Oh, trust me, you go up to these players. I saw this sentiment online last night. You go up to these players, they don't even know who they're playing. They don't care. Sure, there are a few that would have that take. Devonta Smith, Jordan Mailata, Brandon Graham. I can go down the line, but go to the other ones that are going to be honest with you. I wonder what A.J. Brown really thinks about not going out there and getting that 2 seed.
But Lane Johnson.
Like, I just wonder.
You got people that toe the company line.
Correct.
And you got the others that maybe will toe the company line, but then say behind the scenes.
Even Jalen Hurts, truth serum. Grab a beer, pull up the stool. What were your thoughts about not playing yesterday and getting that 2 seed? And, oh, by the way, potentially having a home game in the second round of the NFL playoffs.
Okay, so in hindsight, and you can't change it, if every person in that organization doesn't say, yeah, of course we would play the starters. We could have been the number 2 seed, then you're an idiot. Of course you would change things. You're not going to go back and second guess it now because you lost, but of course you would change things.
Yep.
More from Maniac Malloy. If they fall behind San Francisco, they will absolutely turn on them, and everyone will be frustrated. It will be a war zone inside the link if they don't play sharp early.
I'm gonna push back on that.
I'm not.
Because
It'll be a war zone.
All right. Well, you got this dude Miggs on YouTube chat saying that like Bane took out half the team yesterday.
A dirty bomb was.
I would just say this. I'm sorry. I'm still fighting a little bit of a cold. I would just say that we know that this is playoffs. This is do or die. This is the reigning Super Bowl champions. This is a team that just won the division. And, oh, by the way, should have went 4-0 down the home stretch entering into playoffs, but they ended up slipping up against the Commanders. They were 3-1. So what this feeling was 3 weeks ago or a month ago, Malloy, yeah, I would agree with them. Not now. There's got to be more positive vibes heading into the playoffs.
All right, you're probably right. Ray, would you be surprised if they lost to the 49ers?
No.
Would you have been surprised if they would have lost to the Packers?
Yeah.
610-632-0975. Exactly!
Well, yeah, you just made it more difficult on yourself. But that's the whole point of this conversation. It's more difficult to go NFC West opponent on the road in Chicago. And if you're lucky to host the NFC Championship game, hey, guess what? Here's Matt Stafford and the Rams.
Yep.
Like, that's pretty much the path you've built.
Yep.
Instead, could have been the Pack, host of the Bears, let chaos take care of itself, or maybe the Bears lose, and then chaos really reigns today, but then you have the second home game, and then we're looking at a whole different world.
Yep.
That path no longer exists.
It is the playoffs, though, right? Like, this is the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to be easy.
Minus the South, the NFC South.
True.
And the Packers.
The Panthers are here. Hey, go Pack, go this week.
Packers are terrible, dude.
Go Pack, go,
Yeah,
baby.
the Packers are going to win this week because everybody says they suck.
Clayton Tune was playing yesterday. Let's relax on the Packers are terrible
but
thing.
Come on. They're down Tucker Kraft, Micah Park. I could go on
They're
and on.
they're limping into the playoffs.
Yeah, and they've got a superhero returning to
Here
play
we go.
quarterback
Here
for
we
them.
go.
About that.
Here we go.
Well, let me tell you something. If the Eagles had Malik Willis, they win yesterday.
That's fine. I'm
just
taking a
telling you
shot
the
at Tanner
truth.
McKee.
No, I know I am.
Give out the phone number on that one.
I know I am. So Bill in Levittown, who once upon a time went to Madison Square Garden with our late buddy Bart, Sean Brace, and myself.
What a trip.
To watch the Flyers and the Rangers via limo many, many moons ago.
That's right.
And he joins us right now because Bill has the opinion that I'm fine with them resting the starters, but you can't lose the game. Bill in Levittown, what's up, buddy? Happy New Year.
Johnny Mott, Sean Brace, what's going on, boys?
There he is.
What's up, Bill?
What's going on? Yo, Brace, make that talk to you.
Oh, great to hear that voice, sir. Great to hear that voice.
What's up, 2-7?
Oh, strong pull. Strong pull.
Who was who? Kovalev? There was a Ranger fan wearing a 27 jersey. We'll just say up at the Garden.
Yeah, that's right.
Bill was yelling.
Yeah, she was
at her.
She was unbelievable looking. But anyway, Anyway, I digress. Boys, let me tell you something. Again, and John, you have a point. Play the starters because they played their starters. They could do no worse than 3 and still played their starters the whole entire game. I get it. All right. If you went man by man, they probably would want to play. But most of them in the post-game loss said, I don't have no problem with sitting, blah, blah, blah. When you look at the game, though, it goes down to coaching. If you knew Washington was playing their starters on defense against your second string, which has trouble picking up blitzes because you've seen it in the preseason, why would you call 45 pass plays?
Yeah.
45 pass plays. Twice inside the red zone, they ran 7 pass plays to 1 run.
Wow.
The first one was they were on the 14-yard line, 4 straight passes. Incomplete, back. The second time, inside the 20, they run 3 pass plays to 1 run, which got nothing, and then the interception happened. Why? Why is there no runs inside the red zone? That makes no sense to me.
Why are there no runs in the fourth quarter?
He didn't touch the ball at all in the fourth quarter.
I know. Crazy. I mean, like everybody would agree that Tanner McKee, for the most part, was awful, right? Going into the fourth quarter. You go into the fourth quarter, and you actually have the lead, 17-10. Washington goes down, and they score that touchdown. And you come out of the touchdown, and you go 3 and out on 3 pass plays. All right? And then they score another touchdown. Now you're down 24-17. Like, oh, okay. Like, I understand then you would want to throw the ball because you're down. But still, there's plenty of time left to go down and to mix in some runs. It just the entire second half, and I think even Ross Tucker at one point said it, like, why aren't they leaning on Tank Bigsby a little bit more? Every time he touched the ball, either in the passing game or the running game, it seemed like it worked.
And here's my thing. What I don't understand, and maybe I'm too far, I'm a step ahead of Nick, is he saving Tank for the playoffs? Because the run coordinator, Jeff Statlin, how's he not in his ear? How's he not in his ear saying, Nick or Kevin, why are we not running the ball? Our guys having trouble picking up blitzes. How are we not running the ball here, guys? I'm the run game coordinator. How are we not running the ball? Going into the game, their first 21 plays they called, or first 14, they ran the ball really well, got down, scored. It just makes no sense to me how they just get away from running. And this is flat out Nick. You guys can tell me it's Kevin Patulka. This is Nick. Remember, this is what we saw his first year when he became coach. He threw the ball on a young Jalen Hurts who had trouble reading defenses, which apparently he still does. And yet we're still going to try to throw the ball.
And now, Bill, we got to run, but thank you. And now, because they think Tanner McKee's the next coming, now they're like, oh, we're going to throw the ball with Tanner.
They had him rolling out like he was John Elway.
God.
It's like, what is going on right now?
Here's one drive. Tanner McKee, incomplete. Tank Bigsby, 2nd and 10, 11-yard run, first down. First down, Tanner McKee, incomplete. Second and what is it? So they get 9 yards on. They get 9 yards on second down. So now it's 3rd and 1. And this is when Bigsby ran for no gain, and then they got a 5-yard penalty, and it became, instead of 4th and 1, it became 4th and 6, and they punted on it because they had to. Well, I think they were going to punt anyway. Mm-hmm. But still, in the 3rd and 1, they tried to run the ball, and it didn't end up working out. It seemed like they were like, okay, we're not going to run the ball anymore because it didn't work out on 3rd down.
But it's so funny because for one time in the last few weeks, they were actually owning the line of scrimmage. They were the more physical team in my mind.
Yeah, running the ball, certainly. Pass protection wasn't great. Coming up, Eagles on the text line. Also, a very interesting Phillies report this weekend. What does it mean? That's coming up next. Middays with Marks.
The unfit.
Watch it live with us. Get involved in the chat, as many people do. Or you can watch it whenever you want to on demand. Just make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic. We're getting those subscribers up, Sean Brace.
I like it.
I also did my first emergency pod. I've been doing some Phillies episodes on the Fanatic YouTube.
All right.
And I put it out on Saturday. I actually recorded one with Maniac Malloy, and we put it out. And then the John Heyman tweet came out, and I said, we have to get that down, and I have to do an emergency pod.
Banger of a tweet, baby.
Which we'll talk about in a second. But make sure that you are liking and subscribing. And I would, if I could be anybody in this world, fictionally, Mitch Buchanan from Baywatch may be one of the ones.
That's what I thought the music was, right?
Yeah, Baywatch.
So I started feeling like warm vibes, and it's freezing outside. Now, you wouldn't know in the shirt, but it's nice and warm. But, I mean, it's cold.
Yeah, if you want a reason to tune into the YouTube chat, it's enough is Sean. Sean always brings something with his clothes.
Throw him a bone. Throw them.
Someone that said that you look like that you have a Snuggie on backwards.
He said if I had another 2 legs, I might get shot. Thinking I'm like an animal.
Looks like a sheepdog, right, Ray?
My
brace season.
It's my lucky Sherpa. I bought it last year. Aeropostale on Instagram, John.
Seriously?
Yeah.
No, it's all. I mean, you look like you should be wearing Timbs, not sneakers. Big brown Timbs.
I like that.
You once again look like
great.
you should be in an LMFAO video.
Hey, I can do that dance. Just so
Party
you know.
rock.
Party rock.
Party rock
Yeah.
dance. If you Google the music video, you can actually find it. Party Rock is in the house tonight.
Can you name the 2 members of Party
I
Rock?
can't.
Oh,
but
Ernie
I
Elliott.
know their history. Their parents were big time like rich.
Of course.
I think music. So like they were just like, hey, let's make a band and you guys can be the lead singers.
How about Red Foo?
They're big in Europe.
Yeah, and I don't know the other guy.
Just like remember where Hasselhoff was big?
Germany. Big with the Germans. That's back when Letterman was on the air, man. That was so good.
You know what my favorite Hasselhoff moment is? When he was all drunk eating the In-N-Out burger.
Eating the burger.
And his daughter was videoing it because he was all drunk.
Unbelievable. Don't hassle the Hoff, man. Except his daughter put that out.
All right.
Is he still kicking?
Yeah.
He's still with us, right?
Oh, yeah,
Okay, all right.
absolutely.
He probably
Love
looks like $1
Hasselhoff.
million.
It looks better than me, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, man, I'm hideous right now. I got bags. I've been doing nothing but relaxing for the last 2 weeks. Do you see these bags underneath my eye? I look like a donkey.
Yeah, me too. Take a spoon and put it in the fridge.
Is that what
and then you're supposed to put it underneath your eyes?
All right.
I don't have time for that.
Good call.
All right, so I want to go because Philly's story. I'll put the story in quotes coming up. Actually, we're almost up against it here. Anyway, the John Heyman tweets the following: Phillies are among a number of big market teams that have interest in Bo Bichette, an young 27-year-old free agent. Yanks, Cubs, Dodgers, Red Sox, and incumbent Jays too. Bichette's the only player to hit 300 versus fastballs. Blah 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 blah. So he leads it with the Phillies are among a number of teams. And then he names every other team that has money to spend and wants to spend it, right? But he puts the Phillies out there. So, by the way, anything that John Heyman puts out there, you have to realize it's John Heyman putting it out there. And a lot of times he's being used as a pawn. He's not vetting the information he's putting out there. Him and Nightingale are always just – people believe that Scott Boras sends them a text and they just copy and paste, and they put it out there. But so I read this as because Scott Lauber also put out the following. He put out an article, Philadelphia Inquirer, and he said, and he's talking about what happens if JT doesn't resign. And he says the Phillies' contingency plan should set in motion several dominoes. First, they would pivot to a catcher in free agency to pair with Marchand or Garrett Stubbs. The savings could be applied to another area of the roster, maybe in addition to the rotation. Ranger Suarez is still available, or the bullpen. Or if Bohm had to be packaged for a catcher, they could take a run at free agents such as Alex Bregman or Bo Bichette. So if I'm the Phillies, at this point, I'm saying to JT Realmuto, hey, JT, we love you. Because every time that someone puts something out there, it's always with the caveat of the most likely scenario is still that JT comes back and the Phillies want JT back, right? So they're making sure that it's put out there, hey, we want him back, but in case he doesn't resign. At this point, the market is the market. Hey, JT, I would want 3 years as well. I would want $25 million a year as well. The market is the market. It's pretty clear that if someone's offering more money than the Phillies, it's not by much. Because it's now time to take the deal, or it's time for the Phillies to move on. Because the longer we wait, the longer I'm now thinking, Bregman in this lineup as opposed to JT? I like the sounds of that. This is pressure being put on JT Realmuto from the Phillies. Get this out in the media. Let them know it's now's the time to make a deal, or they're going to pivot to Plan B.
With that, are you pouring water on my Bo Bichette? Like thoughts, my dreams, adding that bat to this lineup? John, I'm loving it, man. 311 average, 294 last year, only behind Aaron Judge. Look what he did in the World Series. 8 for 23. Hit a home run in Game 7. Good stick. Not the best glove, but, man, young, too, 28.
Great player.
Great player.
All-star level player.
Yes.
Would make this lineup that much better. Because let's face it. Let me say this, Ray, and I'll look at you when I ask this question. Are you, and I know that JT, he's the only catcher any pitcher could ever throw to. You know, there's no other, it's like the Eagles. Everybody's going to get injured when they play. But they're addicted to throwing to JT. The Phillies couldn't possibly have anybody else on their team that the pitchers throw to, or they would revolt and go on strike.
I actually heard that. No one's going to pitch for the Phillies in 2026 if he leaves.
They're just going to roll the ball to the plate.
First reported by Middays with Marks.
Correct. But is your team better? And I know that he's a good defensive catcher and the guys like throwing to him. What's the reason why the Phillies have lost in the playoffs the last couple of years?
Situational hitting or, timely hitting.
Right? Offense or defense? Offense or pitching?
Offense.
Oh, not even close. Offense.
Yeah.
Timely hitting.
Timely hitting.
Guys aren't hitting. The big three aren't hitting. No one else is picking up the slack, right?
Correct.
Are you a better team with a Bo Bichette or a Bregman and not JT Realmuto? And understand, like Marshawn, I'm sure he's a good defensive catcher. He's not JT. You're not going to bring in someone that's good at JT, but you're getting Bregman or Bichette over JT. Is your lineup better minus JT and what he does defensively and Bregman? I'm going to ask you, Ray.
Yeah, it's better with Bregman.
Is it better with Bo Bichette?
Yeah, it's better with.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So the longer JT sits out, the longer, and we said this weeks ago, I hope he signs soon because people are going to start saying, like, hang on a second, why are we re-signing him exactly again? Why are we giving him $17 million again? Right? Sign now? My advice to JT would be sign now.
It's January.
You're not going to get a bigger deal, and if you're going to continue to hold off for it, if I was the Phillies, I would move on.
7 weeks, I believe. Jason Stark tweeted out yesterday. First game of spring training. That will make you feel warm inside.
It's time to sign now. The market is the market. I get it. You're not happy with the market. It's the market. The Phillies don't have to pay you more money just because you want that. The market is the market. Take another deal or sign with the Phillies. It's time. It's time. And you know what? If they move on from him, then they pivot to somebody else. With all that being said, the Phillies aren't signing Bo Bichette.
Come on.
And I'd be very surprised if they got Bregman as well.
Well, you mean to tell me they don't have 8 years, $211 million laying around?
I don't think that they do.
I'm walking to work if it happens.
Bo Bichette?
That'd be worth it as it is.
Bichette and Bregman, yep.
Very unlikely.
Very unlikely.
Not impossible. There's more of a chance JT doesn't come back. Like, I think JT not coming back is a legitimate could happen. Because if he's dead set on being respected with a contract, he may leave. He may find a team that says, you know what, I want more money.
Yep.
If I'm the Phillies right now, earlier in free agency, if he would have came to the Phillies and said, hey, I get a 3-year contract offer from the Mets. I got a 3-year contract offer from the Red Sox. If I'm the Phillies, I think about matching it. At this point, I ain't matching it. I'm saying see ya. You go ahead and go. Because I've been rubbed the wrong way. The Phillies have offered him the best contract out there in free agency. And guess what? JT, you're not an all-star anymore. You're coming off a huge contract where you were good. You're not an all-star level player anymore. You're 35 years old and the catcher. You don't deserve $25 million a year. You don't deserve a 3-year, $20 million contract. The contract we're offering is what the market is dictating that you are. Take the contract or go somewhere else. And, I don't like this from JT. I really, really don't. I understand it's negotiations.
Yep.
That's why I'm saying to sign now before I get pissed.
You're not?
Oh, my God. No, sign the contract now. I want you to come back. I was fine with you coming back. Enough of this crap. All right? Sign now. Here's why it doesn't work. Real fast, because I know up against it. Here's why it doesn't work. What are you doing with Aiden Miller? Every Phillies fan out there is telling me, hey, Aiden Miller's going to be your starter. Aiden Miller's going to be your starter. You sign Bichette or Bregman, Aiden Miller's not your starter. Or you're going to move on from Bryson Stott, or you have to reconfigure the infield.
Correct.
Doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, it's tough. Bichette, and he's not really the best glove, but obviously the stick speaks for itself. But what are you doing? He's not going to short. Is he going to go to second? He's never played third, and he doesn't have a great glove to begin with.
And if he goes to second, who's playing
Stott?
what's happened to Stott? And
Correct.
if they made a trade because they're signing Bichette, I'm fine with that.
Oh, yeah.
I can trade Stott.
Let's go.
Whatever.
Well,
I like Stott.
I think it's Alec Boehm's, right? He's
Boehm's gone, but then, so he's your third baseman. What about Miller? Even Miller's the best. He's a starter. It seems like a numbers game where you have a bunch of infielders and no one's really a great infielder. Stott's good at second base, but like you put him at third base. I don't know. Coming up, News at Noon. We'll get more into it later on in the show. News at Noon. Zach Taylor, the best caller in sports talk radio. Is that Mad Mike? He's on the line. And the weekend's most viral sports story is next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Second team, no second seed. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles rest their starters and fell 24-17 to the Commanders, which means they're not getting AFC's second seed. The Bears did lose to the Lions, which the Eagles needed, but the Birds need a win over the Commanders to get the second seed. They will not get it. Nick Sirianni after the game saying he doesn't regret sitting his starters.
You go through your process. You make what you think is the best decision for the football team, and that's what we did. One thing I could guarantee was giving them rest. I couldn't guarantee anything else, and us going into the playoffs healthy is a big deal for us.
Right or wrong, it results in the Birds with the 3 seed hosting the 49ers at 4:25 on Sunday in the NFC wildcard round. Tonight, the 76ers look for a 4th consecutive win when they host the Nuggets at 8:30. You can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. And the Phillies announced this morning that they've hired Don Mattingly to be their new bench coach. This update is brought to you by semaglutide. Struggling with weight loss? Orderly Meds offers proven GLP-1 semaglutide program starting as low as $74 a month. Start now at loseweight.com. Eligibility required. Visit loseweight.now.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, the best Birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And what that means is we're going from 4 commercial breaks an hour to 3. And this segment where we do the news at noon, we actually have the longest segment that we have every hour. It's supposed to go to 12:21. So I'm happy about this because we can do the news at noon with Ray, and then we can kind of get back into something else. So we don't feel like we're rushing news at noon, and then we can get into something else. So don't go anywhere. We have a nice commercial-free segment here coming up. After news at noon, we'll update you on everything that's going on in the NFL because coaches have been fired. GM's got – so Jonathan Gannon got fired. Ooh. Seemed like he was going to keep his job.
According to Adam Schefter, Cardinals fired head coach Jonathan Gannon.
Good move.
What an awful job he did.
Good move. Yeah, I'm not buying into the fact of all those injuries. He didn't have it for me. He's not Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen is clearly a head coach, good offensive mind. Jonathan Gannon just not really pushing all the right buttons. I'm not trying to say it's easy to be a head coach of Arizona Cardinals, but
did you think he was going to be successful in Arizona?
No, I didn't. If you had to pin me down, no.
It's a bad organization as it is. You're putting Jonathan Gannon down there.
Yep.
Right. Steichen's done a good job. I mean, he's going to be coaching for his job probably next year.
You're right.
But he's done a relatively good job considering the cast of caravan of quarterbacks he's had there.
You're talking about a team that just went the opposite direction as far as the Colts started 8-2 and then lost 7 straight to ride off in the sunset.
It's bad.
I'll tell you what, the Riley Leonard looked pretty good yesterday.
Did not look bad. Yep, did not look bad. All right, we'll get into everything that's happening in the NFL and back into the Eagles after the news at noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
the news at noon
That's the coolest piece of way I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
with Ray Dunn.
All right, we're going to start with the NFL. Plenty to get to, and how about that coming up in the next hour. But probably the biggest story of the weekend that did not have to do with the postseason was Myles Garrett setting the new single-season sack record. And we can get the whole 16-game, 17-game debate. Of course, when they cut to Strahan on Fox, he had to make that comment, whether he believes it or not. We can get to that a little bit later on. But the big story out of this, aside from them celebrating him like he's Rudy taking the field for the first time, was Zach Taylor having issue with the fact they celebrated that in the game because apparently the officials did not let him know they were going to stop the game. He felt like he was trying to get things going for the Bengals. They were trying to use pace. And after the game, he spent a considerable amount of time talking about how disappointed he was that they stopped the game for this.
There's 5 minutes left in our season. We're playing for our lives here. And I was never told that we're going to stop the game. And in a critical moment like that, and the refs just said that they made a decision that they were going to stop the game. And they said they tried to do it as quickly as possible. I didn't feel that. We didn't sub. We're trying to be on the ball and go and play with tempo. And the umpire just held the ball so that we couldn't do anything. And I'm yelling at Joe, get on the ball. We didn't sub. We're going. And then we couldn't play. And so, again, trying to get an answer was not easy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody really cares because it's 2 teams that are playing for nothing. But I'd be pissed, too. I mean, do you really need to stop the game because he just broke the sack record? I mean, I don't know.
It's history.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give him the game ball. He got lifted up on the shoulders.
Yeah, it was too much. It was way too much. And Myles Garrett's an unbelievable Hall of Fame player, and it's quite even in 17 games, that's a big accomplishment. Dude's unbelievable
for the Browns.
Yeah,
he's the only good player on that team. They don't have to going up against opponents that don't have to pass.
Now it's not baseball where you can take more time because does it really matter all that much to honor somebody? With that being said, Zach.
Yeah,
it's the Bengals and the Browns, Week 17. Only you care about this. Your players don't even care.
We're playing for our lives, was what he said.
Well, he is playing for his life or coaching for his life. He's 6-11 record and failing to make the playoffs 3rd straight year with Joe Burrow as your quarterback, albeit he did get hurt. But still, he might be coaching for his life.
I would have been annoyed.
Okay, but if you're the Bengals, is your decision really dependent upon a 4th quarter drive? Like, now we're not firing Zach Taylor. You know, they got on the ball quick there. Oh, they were able to get going on that drive. Like, come on. Like, we're playing for our lives.
It's a bad job by the officials, though, because I think they should have approached that pregame and said, hey, if this does happen, we need to take a pause, right? But
yeah, it's easy communication. The fact that Taylor had said that they didn't, like, they had said that they just decided on the spot.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
And communication is key in life, John Marks.
My wife tells me that all the time. Right?
All right, moving on into college football here. We had the college football playoff. Obviously, Alabama going down. Indiana with the big win over them. And to me, the best caller in sports talk radio across all formats, all platforms is Legend from Alabama. The guy that calls Paul Feinbaum's show.
Hey, Paul.
He is, and he's been so much better in this post-DeBoer, or this post-Saban DeBoer era. The way he says DeBoer's name, the way he gets mad every time. He got a chance to unload, and I'm just upset I can't play the full clip for you. Here's some highlights from Legend going off on Alabama losing to Indiana.
We want to know why the hell in this new era that Indiana is beating our ass by 35 damn points. Somebody explain it to me. To be a great football team, you got to be physical and mental. Well, Alabama's a soft-ass team, and we are a babbling idiot and need a shock treatment. Somebody get me a plane to Michigan and see if we can get them to change their damn mind and take this coach off of our hands.
Yeah, Indiana's for real.
Oh, yeah.
They have a lot of talent on that team. Defensively, they're athletic and fast. Offensively, they're a really good team. And, here's what Legend needs to understand. You ain't the same Alabama you were a couple years ago with Nick Saban. Things have changed.
It was a pretty good season.
It was a pretty good season.
In the playoffs, you beat Oklahoma in the first round.
Yep.
So I hear you, Legend. It was a disappointing performance, no doubt. It was. Yeah, that was bad. 38-3. Indiana, monster favorite to win it all.
They
Plus
should be.
130, yeah.
They should be. Uncle Jamie struggled in his picks, by the way.
Oh, no. Is he distracted nowadays?
He may be distracted. Correct.
Uncle Jamie.
Got some off-the-field things going on.
Come on. Lock in. It's the college football playoff, man.
You know what he needs, right?
He's actually texting me right now.
You know what he needs? He just needs some rest. Just give him the week off. That's all.
And Uncle Jamie says Alabama quit, and Herbstreit called him out. He did. No, when they knew that that it was over. Oh man, it was over. They knew it. You saw the lack of fight.
All right, last one for you here. We're going to take you into the world of college basketball, where Micah Shrewsbury, coach at Notre Dame, used to be the coach at Penn State, went charging after officials at the end of the game. Now, the end of the game, Cal knocks down a three-pointer, foul called on that three-pointer. The and one. They end up getting a shot to try and win. The shot doesn't go. Notre Dame loses this game. He was not happy about that and one call, and I can tell you from watching it, I wouldn't have been either.
Can I also add to it?
Yes.
They actually said, no, it was not a shooting foul, and it doesn't go in. And then they reversed the reversal and said, actually, it does count, and you do get to shoot the foul shot. So that happened, too.
That happened in there as well. Here is the end of the call at the end of the game with Shrewsbury missing, and then Coach Shrewsbury losing it just a bit.
Lob comes into Carson Tower. Plays it up top. Shrewsbury off balance. California's hung on and won. Shrewsbury got a look. And a wild sequence over in the corner of the court near the Notre Dame bench. Micah Shrewsbury needed to be held back.
And Shrewsbury still not sure what set him off.
And that's the best part of the whole thing. Whoever that idiot is that said, I'm not sure what set it off. You're not sure? Let me give you one guess. Oh, my God.
You calling the game?
So, since you don't have the visual, if he wasn't held back, he might have choked the referees to death. I mean, there would have been physical contact. Thank God they held him back.
Credit to the players.
Yes.
Well, and that all starts, and that's why the analysts especially being the one. Like, play-by-play, you want to go with, oh, you never play sports, you're just the guy that calls the game. Sure, you go after the analyst. Like, you've either been on a team or you've been a coach. You know how that all starts. The coach says, that's on you. That's effing on you. You lost us this game. He's screaming at the official. The official might have said something, or the official just walked by him. He didn't like the reaction he got from the official. Then he keeps going after the official, and anger just sets in. If you've never been, how you don't know what he's upset about was the most absurd thing. You're right about that entire clip. You know why he's upset.
I don't know what set him off. You don't?
Yeah.
Were you present in the last 10 seconds of the game? All right, that's the news at noon.
You know about that Cali Chronic. Maybe he was partaking a little pregame, you know? Who knows?
I've said this many times that if I was a major league manager or in that particular case right there, I'd leave the arena in handcuffs after one of these things. He obviously can't act like that. He apologized for it. It was a bad look. Man, I can't blame him. That was, the call on the three-pointer in that particular situation should never, ever, 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 ever be called. They made contact with him. Barely made contact with him.
Yeah, in this day and age, you have to wonder whether or not somebody was on the take,
Dude,
right? That's what goes through their minds.
Listen, man, I just and I wasn't watching the game live. The only reason I even see it is because
I watched the first half, fell asleep at halftime, and then woke up to all sorts of craziness that morning, if you know what I mean. Anyways, a quick little note, if you wouldn't mind, locally. Shout out to Temple, 6 in a row for Temple men's basketball, and Villanova. My guy Willard, Coach Willard, got some big things happening up on the main line. I know you're not a big Nova supporter. I actually pull for the Cats.
I actually do mind. You said if you don't mind. I actually do mind.
Come on, baby.
Temple beat UTSA.
Yep.
Charlotte, Princeton, Davidson, St. Francis, and Georgian Court.
Hey.
What a victory.
Hey.
What a winning streak, Ray.
6 in a row is 6 in a row.
Now, wait a second. You're giving Drake May the MVP. Who are the Patriots beat this year? All right.
He's actually not going to win the MVP now.
I know that he's not, but you were giving him the MVP.
Yeah, I'll give him the MVP.
Yeah, all right.
What was the name of that one team? Georgia what?
Georgian Court.
It was a good research project for me.
Where are they located?
New Jersey. Yeah, that's what but believe me, this is a whole bit. Like, Georgian Court, what does that mean?
6 in a row.
But
ECU Wednesday night.
Their schedule gets considerably tougher with East Carolina, Memphis, Florida Atlantic, Rice, UTSA grudge match, Charlotte grudge match, South Florida, East Carolina, Tulane, North Texas, UAB, Wichita State, Florida. Are you kidding me with the schedule?
This is the American. Where have you been?
Do they not play non-conference games?
Non-conference is over.
Oh,
Welcome
it's over,
to the new year.
Yeah.
Well, who are the non-conference? I'm sure they had a couple of non-conference.
Georgian Court.
Oh, yeah, I did.
There you go. Are they a tournament team, Ray?
I mean, they got to win the conference. That's really what it comes down to in this conference. It's Memphis, and then whoever wins the conference.
Would you like the real answer? No, they're not a tournament.
Well, the answer is you got to win down there this year in Birmingham.
6 in a row is 6 in a row.
How about that?
I'm sure Temple appreciates my positivity on them. Anyway. Yes, Villanova has looked.
Yes. That was a big-time win on Saturday at Butler. Come on.
Sure was.
Rank the Cats.
Yeah. Do we have Rex Ryan audio? Can we play this? Rex Ryan talking about. Is this from today?
Yeah, it's from this
today.
morning. Yep.
Almost everybody on ESPN last week was saying that they would play the starters, and I get it because a lot of those guys are ex-players and ex-coaches that played in a much different time. So they like old school football mentality is like even if like a lot of times even if the game doesn't matter, they'd be like, you still play your starters, you don't rest your starters, you need to play them in the preseason. But here's Rex Ryan today talking about it.
But if we had a chance for the 2 seed, oh, hell yeah. D. Wood, you're playing the whole game. We'll rest in the offseason. Trust me, we're going to do it. And here's the thing. It was like 50-50 whether Detroit was going to beat Chicago. All right, you got to realize Dan Campbell's over there.
Yeah.
They hung 52 on the same vaunted 85 Bear. Oh, I mean, this 2025 Bear defense, give me a break. So to me, I think you had a great chance to get the 2 seed. And one thing I know about Philly, they are hard as hell to beat in the playoffs at home.
Yep.
You know, Rex Ryan, just
first time I've heard him made sense.
Smart man, Johnny Marks. Look, and that quote of you can rest in the offseason, that's the first time I've heard that one. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good line. I like that. But he's not wrong when it comes to this team, Philly being tough at home. Again, 26-8 the last 4 seasons at home. That's the second best record in the NFL, only behind the Buffalo Bills, who they went on the road and beat a couple weeks ago, and that wasn't good enough for some people. Anyways, I digress. And 7-1 at home in the playoffs. You can't beat the Eagles in an NFC Championship game if it's being played at the Link.
Unlikely. Very unlikely. And it may have ended up being the Rams against the Eagles, which would have been a tough draw. But if you have a legit, and I thought he laid it out perfectly. This wasn't the Texans that needed a win against the Colts, and then you needed the Jags to lose to the Titans. The Titans are one of the worst teams in football, and the Jags have been rolling. Jags get a win, you can't win the division. The Texans decided to play their starters because there was a chance. There was a much, much better chance that the Bears were going to lose to the Lions than any of the other scenarios that we brought up today. So if you know that being the case, how do you not play the starters? Unless you're so friggin' sure that Tanner McKee and the reserves can go in and win the game. Because if you're saying to yourself, you know what? Yeah, like we like our chances, but you have to go in thinking we're not losing this game, period. Because it was a coin flip. It was essentially a coin flip whether the Lions or the Bears were going to win. It was.
Yeah.
And the fact that you went in with the reserves, and you know what? You can put it on yourselves, Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo, because you went out there and you had a dog crap game. You really did. Your reserves, you did not do a good job. You just didn't. And you lost to the one quarterback.
So I'm not doing a good enough job.
We said, like, when we were talking about it on Friday, we were like, but Josh Johnson's the quarterback. They can't lose to Washington. Can they? Josh Johnson's the quarterback.
He tried to hand you the game.
Yeah, they
multiple times.
They did.
Couple turnovers, not one sack, though. That was really frustrating. And just overall, the game was there for the taking, right?
It did feel like watching the season back in all the conversations we had. Wow, that corner stinks. Wow, the edge rushers can't get any pressure home. This offense, no rhythm to it. I don't know what this play caller's doing. It did kind of feel like if there was a way to, like, Spotify rap the entire season for us, it did feel like we played the greatest hits watching them play the Commanders. Not in a good way, but it played kind of the hits of the conversation we had from, like, July to December.
Love that Spotify rap. Gets me every year.
Yep. So Eagles now have a much tougher draw, and we'll get back to the phones on that if it was a mistake. A lot of people supporting the Eagles and saying, you know what, you can't look at it that way. You can't get your players hurt. So it was okay to rest it. Because even if you're of that school, like Bill from Northeast Philly, Bill from Levittown that called in earlier, he was okay with the resting. He's pissed because the Eagles did such a bad job in losing that game. And that goes on Sirianni and Kevin Patullo.
So I'm not doing a good enough job.
Just does.
Yeah, and that's where I'm like, I want to focus a little bit more on that. But right here, right now, it's frustrating because you look at, the potential of doing something special. And you want to make that, trip to the Super Bowl that much easier, right? Like, we're talking about an opportunity to be considered one of the best teams ever in NFL history if the Eagles were able to get back to another Super Bowl.
The difference between being the 2 seed and the 3 seed is significant enough that
Drastic.
you start your players and you see what happens.
Don't take our word for it. Listen to Rex Ryan.
I always agree with
He
Rex
knows
Ryan.
everything.
He's great. All right, go back to the phones. A couple NFL notes here. Pete Carroll fired after one season. Their GM will remain. Browns fired their coach, Kevin Stefanski, who I believe is going to have a lot of teams interested in him, possibly the Giants.
Yeah.
That'd be a good spot for him. They keep their GM, Andrew Berry.
What's the more appealing job to you, the Raiders in Las Vegas or the Giants in Jersey? Oh, Giants, really? You got a number 1 overall pick with the Raiders. Got some decent talent.
I don't like Mendoza as an NFL quarterback.
Oh man,
I like Jackson Dart. Not a sure thing, but they have some real building blocks. Giants are also a bad franchise. So's the Raiders are too. I know Tom Brady's trying to take over, but he'll have his pick. The Falcons fire Raheem Morris, their coach, and their GM Terry Fontenot. The Bengals seem to be leaning towards keeping their coach Zach Taylor. And what was the most latest one that just came out? Who just got fired?
Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon got fired from the Cardinals, which the Cardinals are a bad organization. There was no way Jonathan Gannon was going down there and was having success. Kyler Murray has been terrible.
Yeah, it starts and ends with him.
They're gonna move on from him. They're gonna have to find another quarterback.
My man doesn't even watch game film.
He's too busy playing video games.
I had to put a timer on his iPad.
I know.
Think about that.
Like my daughter. I have to approve. I get a notification for more iPad time. That's Kyler Murray. Jonathan Gannon's getting a request at 1 a.m. Like, hey, can I have another hour worth of?
I'm sure he's got some stories to tell. Maybe we'll share them one day.
What else am I missing in the? So there is an Eagle story that did Dutsy send this to us?
Yep, Tom Pelissero.
Tom Pelissero tweets out that the Eagles put in a request to interview Eagles assistant GM Alec Hallaby for their general manager job. Per source.
Who put the request in?
Dolphins.
Okay.
They fired Chris Greer, their general manager. Mike McDaniel is going to remain as head coach, so he keeps his job. Now, do you know what Hallaby looks like, Ray? Google his picture. Looks like my little brother that's still in high school.
Oh, man.
And I'm not trying to rip the kid because I'm sure he's very smart and he'll do a great job if he gets the job. But
he's the one that looks like Salciunas.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's Salciunas.
But younger. Salciunas is at least in his 30s.
He's been in the Eagles organization for 16 years?
He has.
No, he's older than Salciunas.
He's older than him.
He looks 21.
At most. Yep.
He still gets carded, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd card him.
I love Miami.
Who of the Howie Roseman GM tree? Who has actually had success leaving Philadelphia? Joe Douglas, horrible organization. with the Jets. And I'd like to see him go to a real team to see what he can do. Failed. Andrew Berry, Cleveland Browns, kept his job. I don't know if it's his fault or not. I don't know if he wanted Deshaun Watson or he didn't. Horrible organization. He's still got his job. He's been a massive failure so far. Who else is – because all I heard was how many GMs they have. Oh, GM in waiting. Oh, we have 5 GMs on our staff. Right? So far, not so good for the Howie Roseman tree. Right?
Now, is this all Howie Roseman tree? Does Joe Banner get any credit for any of these guys or no?
Ask Howie. Well, Joe Banner would, his tree is Howie Roseman.
Yeah, ask Joe Banner. I know what his answer would be. It is interesting. And there's a few guys. I'm seeing this one article talk about Connor Barwin potentially being.
Connor Barwin is thought of very highly. Yep.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's done a really good job.
Good guy around the city, too, as well.
Connor is a great – I want him to stay here, right? Like, it'd be like, you know how the Sixers have Elton's the GM, but Darryl, is kind of making the decisions?
Yep.
Like, Connor's kind of like that guy right now where he's involved in the decisions. But, like, he's great with the players. Like you said, he's great with the city. He understands it. Love Connor. He's great. All right, 610-632-0975. We have a bunch of phone calls. We have less commercial breaks, which means more times to take phone calls. Your reaction. The concerns over the Eagles' path, but are the 49ers worried about coming to Philly? George Kittle talked about it after the game, his preferred path, and it wasn't coming through Philadelphia. We'll play that for you coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Second team, second guessing. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call 610-980-4000. The Eagles rested their starters and fell 24-17 to the Commanders, losing out on a chance to get the NFC's second seed after the Bears lost to the Lions yesterday. After the game, Sirianni said he didn't regret sitting his starters.
You go through your process. You make what you think is the best decision for the football team, and that's what we did. One thing I could guarantee was giving them rest. I couldn't guarantee anything else. And us going into the playoffs healthy is a big deal for us.
Now they're going to the playoffs as the third seed in the NFC. Eagles will host the 49ers at 4:25 on Sunday in the NFC wildcard round. Tonight, the 76ers look for a fourth consecutive win. They host the Nuggets at 8:30. That game you can hear it right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Phillies announced this morning that they have hired Don Mattingly to be their new bench coach. This update is brought to you by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers Flyers, the best bird stock in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Go Cardinals. So, no, my confidence is the exact same. I'm looking forward to whoever we play. Let's go Buddha and Trey McBride. Thank you, guys.
All right, we're back. That's George Kittle. Middays with Mark, Sean Reyes, Ray Dunn. George Kittle, go Cardinals. In other words, we don't want to face Philly. So if the Cardinals would have won, would have beaten the Rams, and they wouldn't have. Right?
Is that how that works?
It was the whole thing, yeah. That's
They
why
would end up the 5. They would have got the South
gotcha.
champion,
Yeah.
which, I mean, no one could blame for Ryan to play either Panthers
Yeah.
or the Bucks.
For sure.
Kittle's the real deal. I love him, for an opposing player, right? He had a great response about the Seahawks celebrating in their locker room. He's like, yeah, they just won, of course. I would do the same thing.
They were smoking cigars.
There's a lot of dumb questions being asked yesterday, John. You know what irked me about locally? About playing the starters, putting them in the second half? Oh, you didn't start them, but we're going to put them in the second. No, you're not going to.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, take Jalen
that.
Hurts off the bench and throw him in the game.
Like, do you really have to ask that question? And then, with all love and respect to the Steelers, I forget the sideline reporter for NBC. I apologize.
It was bad.
And
Was it Melissa Stark? Was that who?
Yeah,
was that who Sunday night.
Did it, yeah.
Well, she did a good job. I don't want to rip her on that, but she asked Rodgers about, is this the end?
Retirement, yeah.
So that's what you're saying was bad. There's no need. She's like, I had to ask that question.
No, you didn't.
No, you don't.
You don't ask about retirement after you just won a game to go to the playoffs.
They just won.
You ask after you lose. If they lost the game, you can ask the retirement question.
Yes, you're right.
It was a bad question. And he actually handled it well.
He did, but he was annoyed by it.
Of course he was.
And that's why she was like, I had to ask it. No,
you
you
actually
did not.
did. You actually did. And Melissa Stark's normally really good.
Were you up at midnight?
I sure was.
Wow.
Sick and all.
How about that?
Well, that was
How about that?
The fourth quarter.
How about that?
That fourth quarter last night was great.
Oh.
I probably wouldn't have been able to stay up if the fourth quarter was as bad as the rest of the game.
Fireworks.
Man.
Back and forth we go.
Yeah, John Harbaugh, we'll wait and see. And this is going to be like a couple days whether or not he ends up coming back. But does it feel like Tomlin's coming? See, to me, Tomlin, it depends on what happens in the playoff game. If he loses the playoff game, there's a lot of steam that he could leave and take a year off and go to TV for a year.
Television, yeah.
It also depends on what jobs are available. Does all of a sudden he look at the Cardinals and because the Cardinals just moved on from Jonathan Gannon, there was thoughts that they weren't going to do that.
Sure, you can get a bag, really good bag.
So like that would be the advantage of going to Arizona is, hey, this is your operation now. Like, go ahead, we'll give you whatever you want, we'll give you money and this and that. And you go down there, weather's nice, different atmosphere. You're a little bit older, so you could go down there and like that's a good spot to be. Bad organization, but I mean the Cardinals should be willing to trade pretty much whatever to get a guy like Tomlin. That'd be a great move.
Longest tenured head coach in the NFL, I think 19 seasons, right? Yep, the banner's hanging up. It would be interesting to see how he would go about it this offseason because I think that, like you said, with that report, there was probably some smoke there.
For sure.
Get a little bit of a breather, take a year off, and you'll have some suitors out there.
Yep. And then John Harbaugh, I think Harbaugh or Jackson have to leave, one of the two. And it seems
Wow.
And again, this is what Mike Sando of The Athletic had said, there's going to be fireworks on Lamar Jackson. And this is going to be a really interesting offseason. And he mentioned Minnesota being involved in possibly trying to trade for him. Baltimore, you could have Lamar Jackson in his last contract snafu for 2 first-round draft picks. They didn't even franchise him, if you remember. They used the transition tag because he was coming off of 2 subpar seasons where he didn't finish the year, and he was being called out for maybe not fighting through injury to play in these games at the end of the season. So
you remember the Falcons had an opportunity, the rumor was, but they didn't want to move off of, I forget what it was.
Yeah, who was their quarterback? Matt Ryan.
Was it?
Yeah.
And they just didn't want to pay him, and they didn't want to give him like a draft pick, but there was something ridiculous. Lamar Jackson could very well. Oh, I know what it was. The Ravens would have matched it. And that was the big pushback. It was like, why waste your time? And I'm like, it's Lamar bleeping Jackson.
But also, they would have gotten 2 first-round draft picks if they didn't match it.
That's
because
true.
he was a restricted free agent.
Yes.
So you can give him an offer. If you give him an offer, you let him leave, you get 2 first-round draft picks. Otherwise, you can match the offer.
Lamar in Minnesota.
That'd be something. That'd be something. On that turf up there.
I like O'Connell. I think he's a good coach.
Just for being a football fan, I would love to see that. They got to make a move in Baltimore. Got to make a move in Baltimore. Harbaugh moving on, it would be a joint decision rather than he's not going to get fired.
I would rather them move off of Harbaugh than Lamar.
as Uncle Jamie texted me, he said that every time the Ravens need to make a play, they don't. That's why they're going to move on from Harbaugh. Something has to change, and it's going to be the coach. Last year was Mark Andrews. Had that terrible drop. That wasn't Lamar Jackson's fault.
Correct.
But something always seems to happen.
Lamar did have a turnover. He dropped the ball. Got returned.
Correct.
Yep. Got to play perfect.
All right, let's talk to Mad Mike. Do we want to do this, Ray?
Sure.
Mad Mike calling. Mad Mike, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good, Johnny Marks. Happy New Year, you and Ray.
Happy New Year, Mad Mike. Say Happy New Year to Sean Brace,
what's
too.
up, Mad Mike?
Oh, here you go, Sean. I'm sorry, Sean.
Happy New Year.
I remember. Happy New Year. I didn't know you were there.
That's all right, brother.
I ran into Sean at the Tilted Kilton King of Prussia when that was still a thing.
Oh, man.
What a classy establishment that was.
Great spot. Terrible location.
Nothing ever works there. Well, it's a dispensary now, right?
I believe you're right
it's a
about
dispensary.
Yeah, it's good dispensary knowledge.
But anyway, congrats to Temple. I hear their next school, the Don Guanella School for the Blind, is going to be a real challenge too.
Your thoughts on the Eagles losing yesterday, Mike?
I mean, you know what? It couldn't happen to a better moron. I hate Nick Sirianni and his dumb face. And he's always making stupid faces on the sideline like he actually is involved in doing anything. The guy is the biggest Mr. Magoo of all time. Like, no idea what's going on. Doesn't even know he's, like, on the sidelines, just wandering around, and good things happen to him just because he's there and he has no idea.
So what do you think about the matchup here coming up against the Niners?
I hope the Niners thump them. And I hope, like, Nick Sirianni's just like, "Oh, we always win," and he has a stupid, dumb face, like, "Oh, but if I show up, we just win." I hate that guy. I hope they fire him.
Well,
and
they're not going to.
Take St. Jalen with you, because he stinks, too.
Oh, my
How about the 76ers? Joel Embiid's on a little bit of a run, Mad Mike. We're going to talk about the Sixers coming up next hour.
Okay, until his knee gives out again. That guy, glad he got $196 million to sit on the sidelines and watch. What a moron. Like, who gave him that contract?
Daryl Morey.
Mad Mike, just an array of positivity here.
How about
on
the
Monday.
Phillies in their offseason, Mike?
Well, who cares? Baseball's stupid. Like, go back to 1890 and watch that sport. That's where that sport belongs.
All right, there he is. Mad Mike, Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year, everybody.
There's Mad Mike.
What does he like? Anything? Zero?
Nope.
Misery.
He likes pain.
That's what he likes.
Good cup of coffee?
I love a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, me too. Pizza? Like, there's some good things out there.
How about this? So Ray and Harry were going on a dry January.
I heard this.
I believe Harry is still on it, but
Harry's doing great.
Harry's a damp January. He's not drinking liquor. He's going to drink ultra Michelob.
I'm anti-dry anything, but go ahead.
But with Harry,
Yeah.
you just can't shut down from alcohol totally. His body wouldn't respond well to that.
So
he
I'm
can
on
drink
the
light beer.
N.A. Labatt's last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what he was sipping on. Yeah.
Ray, meanwhile, lasted a day. Or not even. He didn't last one day.
Not one day. Not one day. No, I believe it was around 8 o'clock, January 1st.
Didn't even
That's
last-
where the first shot
Wow.
went down. And then after that, a couple of vodka seltzers. And then it was
See,
all
I
over.
allowed for the shot after, like, you can drink after midnight, but when you wake up that next day, you can't drink.
It's game up.
I wasn't even being like, no, you can't drink after midnight. No, I was fine with that. How long did you last? 12 hours?
From the time I woke up, less.
Yeah.
Less than 12 hours.
I mean, you're too young for dry January.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But anyway, so I have my own little thing that I'm doing because
All right.
I was in such good shape when I started, and I'm in such bad shape now. I put on 10 plus pounds since I started back in October. So, and most of it's my diet. I'm not working out as much, but I've just been eating like a total just slob.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Right. So I am not going to I'm going to Disney on February 23rd.
How about that?
I am not going to have any pizza.
Good luck.
Any French fries, any candy.
From now until then.
From now until then. And
pizza, French fries, candy.
No, yeah, like I can eat burgers and stuff. I'm not going to go crazy, but pizza is terrible for my health and my blood sugar.
Right.
I've been such a fat ass with candy,
Yep.
dude.
Christmas chocolates, yeah.
Christmas chocolates. All right, coming up, Tanner McKee. What did he potentially cost the Eagles? Are we sure they'll even deal him in the offseason? That's coming up. And look, we have a bunch of phone calls we'll get to. Scott, Bill, Chuck, your phone call, 610-632-0975. We're back after this Middays with Marks. Let's talk about Morgenstern Hair. Want to get your hair back? We got you. Morgenstern Hair. It's the same team that did my hair. My hair's looking great. Over 30 years of experience, so I'll keep it simple, stupid, because I'm kind of stupid. Let's keep it simple. If you want your hair back and you want the results like I have and you've tried some other products on the market and you're saying, you know what, they're just not cutting it, Morgenstern Hair, 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR. You can get your hair back. And like with science in 2026 now, just telling you, there's not a better team out there to get it back, and you can get it back with Morgenstern Hair. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Championship results. Their website is morgensternhair.com, and it's relatively simple. Through science in 2026, you can get your hair back with a relatively simple procedure, and you can have your real growing hair. I remember telling my longtime barber, John, that I had hair restoration. The first time I'm in his chair, and he says, like, what do you mean you have hair? I'm like, I've had hair restoration. Well, what do you mean you had hair restoration? I had a hair restoration procedure, hair transplant. And he's looking at my scalp closer than anybody else would, and he can't tell because it's your real growing hair. I get my hair cut every couple weeks up at the razor bar, just like I always have, and their results are amazing. And right now, Morgenstern Hair is offering $500 off hair transplant for new patients. Advanced hair restoration backed by a team with over 30 years of experience. New year, new hairline. This is your year. Own it. Experience you can trust, results you can see, and every treatment plan is personalized with natural-looking results designed to last. Call the hair team. Tell them I sent you. 610-831-HAIR, 610-831-HAIR, or morgensternhair.com.
Every game day right before the Birds take the field, check out the Birds.
The 97.5, The Fanatic. You can watch us live, watch us on demand. What about the audio podcast, Sean Brace?
What about it?
When you're driving home from work, and of course you should be listening to Bill Colarulo and Ricky Batalco Unfiltered, but if at any point you want to listen to what we talked about on Middays with Marks, well, just wherever you get your podcast. You can listen. We break it down hour by hour. You can go within the hours and fish through what you want to listen to. But just make sure when you do it, you leave us a nice 5-star review.
That's it.
Or Ray will come find you. Ray, any new 5-star reviews?
We actually do. We have quite a few 5-star reviews.
Listen, let's face it. Even if you hate the show, just leave a 5-star review.
Come on, it's 2026. Show some love.
My kids need to eat, please.
Yeah,
correct.
Dan Smedley, the man who will save sports talk radio. Marks had the most popular show in Philadelphia for a reason.
Damn right. Well, I thought they were going to say Ray. Because some people say that you are the reason.
If I'm saving sports talk radio, it's dead.
But our YouTube chat calls you the MVP of the station.
Yeah.
Ray's got to start giving me a little more bravado. If I could just pick on him for a second. There was a picture that was tweeted out from the Temple game, and apparently he had this little skit that was airing on the Jumbotron.
Really?
And his boy took a picture of him, and Ray's hiding, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Ray, say it with your chest, man.
They do the Temple Made Temple Proud, and it's a couple students, and then it's media person, former athlete, something. And they have me record one because I'm working with athletics and I'm here.
And you're Ray Dunn.
So how about that? They tend not to play it at the women's games because, I'm sitting right there. He's here. What are we doing? Every once in a while, there'll be a men's game they play it at, or they played it at a football game this fall. I got, a bunch of texts immediately, just saw you at the link.
A bunch.
You'd be surprised. I mean, that's my niche right there. You would think.
Yeah, but it's a game at the link.
People interested in Temple football, people interested in Ray Dunn.
Right.
It's like a full circle right there. It's pretty much
gotcha.
It's
very
his wheelhouse.
Similar. Yeah.
And Ray's probably there. I'm sure Pat Egan texted you.
Yes.
I don't think Egan was there for that one.
I just heard their boys. They run together. I was like, no
One game a
way.
season, man. One game a season.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're the two people that care about Temple football. Well, excuse me, 3. Harry.
Yeah.
Harry texted me, by the way, and said very disappointed in your behavior.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I feel bad. I feel bad. Tomorrow I'm going to feel really bad when he walks in.
Harry's drinking beer.
Wait, whose idea was this for Ray to be dry January? He's too young for that, though. Harry knows better than that.
You asked me if I would join. You put me on the spot in front of Harry. What am I going to say? No?
Yeah.
Harry dry January, sure. Me dry January, absolutely. My wife would sign me up for that, too. Last year, just real quick, I did a 61-day. I cut everything out.
No.
Yes. Went to Disney sober and the Eagles Super Bowl parade and all sober
During that period?
Yes.
Without any alcohol?
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
Everything.
What?
That's good.
Cut
Everything.
It out. 61 days.
Everything.
Did a Roger Maris.
Everything.
Everything.
Even medicine that you can get prescribed.
Everything.
Wow.
Did Disney
I
sober.
could have done that.
It was tough. And then March Madness happened, and I'm
Are
like,
you kidding me?
Yeah, thank you. March Madness, I was like, I'm cooked.
I'm out.
I need a belly up now.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you. I mean,
Congrats
16,
on your success.
I'm never doing it again.
How about that? By the way, how
doing it.
How about that coming up next segment at 1 o'clock? Because we have a big day of football yesterday. We have some of our favorite stories. Let's go to the phones. We have Scott. Just with the comments. Scott from Souderton. I saw it. And I'm like, you know what? It's a great comment. Scott and Souderton, go ahead. How are you?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Love the show.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, so time off and rest is earned in these leagues. And the Eagles didn't deserve to rest yet. And to me, it looks bad. It shows poorly back to the fans. The other point I wanted to make was
so real fast. Their offense. You're absolutely right. It's not like the offense played well. They didn't get a completion in the second half against the Bills. And,
exactly.
And you're
so
bringing
that
them
deserves
out.
rest?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Not in a game that matters.
And let's face it, it would have taken 3 drives to put that game away yesterday. And then you could come out. And then here's the other deal. Isn't rest in the second round of playoffs, not having to travel to another city, rest? Like, okay, guys, give me a quarter and a half yesterday, and then guess what? There's a chance you're at home for 2 weeks in playoffs. That's rest, in my opinion. This presents poorly back on the fans. I think I have a father-in-law. He's a season ticket holder. He's not too happy.
Yeah, you said that earlier. I'm trying to follow up. What am I missing on that? It reflects poorly on the fans. Why do you say that?
Because it's a mindset. They're tired. I get it, but you're making millions of dollars. The players probably didn't mind resting yesterday, and I get it. It's a tough game. It's football. But this is what it's all about.
Yeah, and Scott, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. So the Eagles were the only team that was tired yesterday. None of the other teams were tired. None of the other teams could have used the game off for the rest. The Texans couldn't have used the rest. The Jags, the Patriots, couldn't have used the rest.
Broncos play a high altitude.
The Lions, they what are they playing for yesterday? They put their star players out there, and if Amon St. Brown goes out and tears his ACL, that puts his season next year in jeopardy. Why are they playing? They could have used the rest.
C.J. Stroud, like you said, yeah.
C.J. Stroud started the game in a game that they were playing for something, but it was highly unlikely that it was going to matter, and it didn't, and they pulled him. By the way, you can manage a game where you're telling Jalen, Mahomes, no design runs, no tush pushes. We're gonna be like we're gonna manage you in this game a certain way. Now I know that's cost them before. The Commanders suck.
They were conservative as hell in the second half against the Buffalo Bills. Just bring that same game plan yesterday. That's all you had to do. It's like, what are we doing?
610-632-0975. 610. Actually, Chuck, let me get you in here. You've been holding for a while. Chuck, what do you got? Go ahead.
Happy New Year's, guys. I'll say it once.
You too, Chuck.
I'm very glad that we're not going to hear any more of the Tanner McKee should start over Jalen Hurts conversation. But the reason I'm calling is, A, God bless Jeff McClain. The headline, Nick Sirianni didn't rest Kevin Patullo and the Eagles offense still looks inadequate, is choice. But, what can this guy do to even save? They would have to win the Super Bowl and score at least 24 points for him to save his job. Anything else, that guy's a dead man walking. No chance in hell that guy can survive.
They would have to go to the Super Bowl based on the offense suddenly clicking, and then you're right, probably have to win the Super Bowl with the offense clicking. You're right, he's a dead man walking.
The fact that we didn't run tank in the fourth quarter, absurd. It's just bad. How is Howie and Jeff Lurie, are you sitting there being like, well, guys, you missed that one again in Week 18? Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're going to roll the Niners, and I think that I'm not even opposed to them resting the starters because you know what? That Commanders team wasn't good. With our backups, we should beat them if you call a good game, which unfortunately, again, at Week 18, he did not.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff, Chuck.
Yep.
But you know what? I don't the Eagles reserves aren't very good. I mean, they're defensive. Keely, Ringo, and Bennett. They don't even deserve to be on a roster at this point.
No.
You kidding me?
That was atrocious.
It really was. Their offensive line, Matt Pryor. Listen, I'm sure Matt Pryor's a nice guy. Can I never see him wearing Kelly Green?
This man was a bona fide scrub.
He stinks.
He can't play.
He can't. You have an offensive line with a bunch of backups or guys that should be on the street. Okay.
That's right. It stinks.
Sure does. All right, coming up. How about that? We look back at the weekend of football, and now that we know the playoff picture, who's in the best spot? All right, and we got some good sound from over the weekend as well. How about that's coming up next? Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Second team, but not the second seed. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles prioritized rest in Week 18 and ended up losing to the Commanders 24-17, losing out a chance to get the NFC's second seed after the Bears lost to the Lions. After the game, Nick Sirianni said he doesn't regret that decision.
You go through your process. You make what you think is the best decision for the football team, and that's what we did. One thing I could guarantee was giving them rest. I couldn't guarantee anything else, and us going into the playoffs healthy is a big deal for us.
Now they head in the playoffs as the third seed in the NFC. Eagles host the 49ers at 4:25 on Sunday in the NFC wild card round. Tonight, the 76ers look for a fourth consecutive win when they host the Nuggets at 8:30. You can listen to the game live right here on The Fanatic. Phillies announced this morning that they've hired Don Manley to be their new bench coach. This update is brought to you by AAA Tire and Auto Service. Save up to $30 on auto repair with the AAA Triple Play. Only at AAA Tire and Auto Service. Offer valid through January 31st. Details at AAA.com/mycar. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, the best birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Real sports talk you can trust.
No rage bait, no fluff, just honest and objective conversation for the greatest sports city in the world. Tune in every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Have you seen the cost of college lately? Families are asking a simple question. What exactly are we paying for? A national survey says it all. Most Americans don't think a 4-year degree is worth the cost when students end up with debt, not skills. Debt is real. Time is real. There is another option. At CSB Media Arts Center in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, home to Connecticut School of Broadcasting, we focus on skills employers want, with training in months without the 4-year price tag. For over 60 years, we've trained students for media careers with hands-on, real-world training from day one. Choose your path: broadcast media, filmmaking, social media marketing, or web design and development. No math, no science, just me.
He's, you can find my Gmail on my social media accounts, but it's John at 975thefanatic.com.
Mail time.
Vic said that he liked we did a little Philly segment earlier. I would like to talk a little bit longer about it, but I did an emergency pod. If you want to check it out, it's on 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube page. Got a little bit more in depth on the Phillies.
Getting a lot of run over there, too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, getting good reaction. Ray's going to do Ray and Harry are going to do a Temple podcast on that.
Nice.
Right, Ray?
Thought I was signed up for the Flyers podcast. We got to decide the
right.
lane
Hey,
I'm steering into in the new year.
What's the name of it again?
Pucked Up.
Oh, that's strong. Hey, this team is rolling red hot right now.
No, this town should be pucked up right now.
I am.
Fish night Thursday. I'll be there.
You will be. That's
Fish
right.
theme night.
Is that where you're going?
It's the first fish theme night ever in professional sports. The rumor is Trey's going to be there.
No, they had a Phillies fish night.
I'm telling you, these are what fish guys are telling me. I'm a deadhead. I'm a Grateful Dead guy, but I love fish.
So,
as
question.
well. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Are you going because it's fish night, or is it just by coincidence that you were going to the game and fish is there?
I am going because my buddy Colin is a diehard fit. Like, he's seen him over 100 times, I think. Something crazy like that. And they're all going. There's like a row of 8, and he had a ticket for me. So I am going because it's fish night. It's going to be nuts, John. They have like this cover band that apparently it's got so much fanfare that they had to bump it over to stateside pregame. It's going to be insane.
So I just Googled it, and it's being announced as the first ever fish night. I thought the Phillies did something with it before.
I think they did the Dead. They did Grateful Dead.
Did they do the Dead?
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Apparently, the rumor is Trey might be making an appearance. If he's listening, Trey, love to see you.
Who?
Trey Anastasio. I forget how to say his last name. Yeah, Anastasio.
Yeah, Trey's going to be there. Come on.
Trey. Lead singer of Fish. Let's go.
I don't know. I like if it's possible to have the least amount of interest in the world on Fish, then that's where I am.
Dude, this is the red hot Flyers. They might be the hottest team in the NHL.
What's the name of that dead oil that everybody knows the smell of? The same thing with
patchouli.
Fish. Yes. So the whole place is going to be reeking like patchouli.
It's a good scent.
Oh yeah, it's great. You go with the dreadlocks. Everything else. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, God bless you if you like fish. I'm not,
great, man.
not into it.
Anastasio, I think is how you pronounce it. So
All right.
murdered it.
Well, before we get back to them, by the way, the nice thing is if you're just tuning in, we only have 3 commercial breaks an hour, and this is the segment where we have our longest talk segment. We go on for another 20 minutes, so there's time for phone calls and everything else. But right now, it's time for How About That?
When you see something great.
How about that?
When you see something you hate.
How about that?
When you see something you just need to tell someone about, hit them with a
How about that?
So last night, NBC, Sunday Night Football. I mean, what a game to end the season. Ooh. Kind of boring first half, first 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter, back and forth. Pittsburgh scores to go up. But you know, in the NFL, all you need is a couple of yards and a little bit of time. 44-yard field goal. Mike Tirico, and it's why he may be the best in the business, or certainly one of the best in the business. There's some really, like Joe Buck and Aikman I love. Tirico and Collinsworth I love. Here's Mike Tirico, the setup for the game-winning field goal that puts the Ravens in the playoffs, or if it's no good, they lose and Pittsburgh goes in. Here's how it sounded.
To set up this moment for the rookie out of Arizona, the Ravens, of course, had Justin Tucker for so long, the most accurate kicker in the history of the league. Rodgers can't believe what he has just witnessed, what might be the end for him. But they went around the country and spoke to a lot of the kickers who were coming out, and they decided Tyler Loop was made of the right stuff for moments like this. He now has a chance to win the division for the Ravens. The final play of the regular season for the final spot in the playoffs. Tyler Loop from 44. Snap good. Holding. The kick is no good. It is wide right. And the Steelers are the champions of the North.
Wow.
How about
Gave me
that?
Goosebumps.
Oh, yeah. Such a good call. You're right. 272 of 272, John. We might have had the best, literally saved the best for last.
Yep.
Regular season games. Incredible. Rookie kicker, 6th-round pick.
Yep. How about that? Meanwhile, Al Michaels, if he was on the call, would have been like, and the kick is up, and it's no good. And he wouldn't even say who won the game. What game was it that he didn't even say what happened? It was a game-winning field goal.
I think it was the Rams, wasn't it? I think it was Rams.
Whatever it was, you didn't even know what happened in the game, and it was literally the last play of the game. It was I think he missed it.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Al Michaels sitting there, and Ravens money line doesn't cash for those of you at home.
It's important to some. How about the priest with the holy water? You see that deal?
Uh-huh.
That was incredible.
It was. After the game, Aaron Rodgers is not retiring. They make the playoffs. But Melissa Stark after the game, here's the interview.
It's pretty emotional, honestly. It's been a great year. So I'm thankful for these guys and excited to be going to the playoffs for the first time in a long while.
Does that mean you're riding off into the sunset after this?
No, it's been a grinding year. And 2 years before that were tough as well. So it's been an absolute blessing to be here with these fans and this organization and Mike T and the leadership that we got with these guys. And I think we found that little bit, that's something special, which is belief tonight on the offensive side. And I'm proud of our guys the way we responded in the fourth quarter.
Had to ask it. Cam, come on.
Had to ask it.
No.
Yeah, watching it in real time, it actually doesn't sound as bad listening back to it.
He rolled his eyes. That's why
did.
she said exactly what she said there.
Yeah, it was. I don't know who was thinking I need a retirement question about Aaron Rodgers. No, he's just like, you just made the playoffs. Literally on the last play of the game, they missed it. Now you're in the playoffs. But
take it easy, Walter Cronkite. Like, we don't need that type of question. They just
how about that?
All right, what do you got?
I could see. Oh,
go
I
ahead.
could see how she got there with him saying it was an emotional year. But that's not the way you lead it into. Like, she, I think, felt pressure to try and get the sound.
You had to
there,
ask the question
that she wanted, like, why was it such an emotional year for you here? Do you think about your future in moments like this, and nights like this? Did you just see your career extend? Like something that wasn't. So you ride off into the sunset, huh?
Yeah. No, you're right. There's a way to ask the question where it's not like that.
Yeah, because you just attacked him right there with the question. And
right.
Aaron Rodgers always got the guard up. He was ready. He was on his best behavior there. The eye roll was the best. That was all she got.
Yep. All right, what do you got, John?
All right, let's do a New York minute. Let's kick them while they're down. Of course, we'll start with the New York Giants here, John Marks. How about this? 8-30 in their last 38 games. Once again, 8-30 in their last 38 games. 4 of those 8 wins have been in Week 17 or 18 when they've been eliminated from playoff contention and only playing for draft positioning. Yesterday, they came in with an opportunity to get the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft. Mendoza or not, still, it would be a nice thing to have in your back pocket. But Jackson Dart, the New York Giants, nothing gets in front of them as far as a victory is concerned in Week 17 and 18.
3rd and 16, pressure. Dart gets it away to Bellinger. He cuts inside to the 20. Bellinger to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown Giants on a 3rd and 16. Dart kept it alive. Bellinger made himself available. And the Giants with an improbable 3rd down conversion score.
Yeah, you'd have to think if they had that number 1 overall pick, they like Jackson Dart, they can get themselves a nice haul for that pick. But now, John, they drop to number 5. Number 5.
Bob Popo on the call right there.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a significant difference. Even if you have 2, or like you can get the best non-quarterback, even if you don't want to make a trade because you want to make sure you get they always need help on the offensive line. I mean, it's the biggest Giants thing in the world to get hot and win the last 2 games.
It's ridiculous. And staying with New York, this is the first time in NFL history this has happened. The New York Jets. They did not record in 17 games played an interception all season long. We're going back to 1933, boys and girls. Babe Ruth territory. Unprecedented, never happening. You're talking about 17 games with 0 interceptions, and a little bit of irony. Aaron Glenn was hired because he was a defensive standout with the New York Jets. Over 24 interceptions in his playing career. Yeah, not 1 pick this year. That's kind of hard to do.
At some point, doesn't the ball just get tipped and land right in your arms and you have to catch it?
You would think there would be some sort of luck, but no. The previous low was 2018, the San Francisco 49ers with only 2.
Wow. Did you see when Adam Schefter was reporting on ESPN that Aaron Glenn would come back? He kind of was laughing, like he tried not to laugh when he said it. Did you see that, Ray?
I did not see it, but I believe it.
Yeah, he was kind of like trying not to laugh as he said it.
Is it a 5-year deal? I think it is.
Whatever it is, they're bringing him back.
That's a dream.
Yeah, that's. Just get an interception, please.
How about that?
What do you got, Ray?
All right. How about that backdoor cover to keep my Locks of the Week streak alive? Shout out to the Panthers. For those that missed it, I'm not going to bore you with the audio of just an awful, awful NFC South game. But the Panthers were down 16-7. The Buccaneers lining up for the field goal. They're going to make it 19-7. The dream is dead. The streak is over. I no longer know anything about football. And then, all of a sudden, the Buccaneers miss the kick. The Panthers go down and score a touchdown. They're not winning this football game, but they're covering the 3-point spread. Panthers +3 wins. The Buccaneers win the game. And then it doesn't matter because all it came down to was the Falcons winning on Sunday.
Yep. My BetParks pick of the day on Saturday, I had Carolina +3. Great backdoor cover. And then I had the Seahawks on the money line because I didn't like that. It was 1.5. I didn't like that.
Wow.
So I took it on the money line.
Look at you.
So I nailed it. How about that?
It's a nice Saturday night right there.
How about that?
All right, we'll end it with this. Tom McCarthy was lucky enough, and I'm a big T-Mac fan. He does a really good NFL game. He does. He was on the call of the Browns-Bengals game yesterday.
He's a professional.
And he had the honor to call Myles Garrett's record-breaking sack. Here's how it sounded on CBS.
First down. Burrow, he's under pressure, he's sacked. And there it is, a record that has stood nearly a quarter of a century has a new leader as 30-year-old Myles Garrett records his NFL record 23rd sack of the year. Tucker passing Michael Strahan and T.J. Watt on the all-time list.
Yep, there it was. And that is how about that?
How about
You guys had said that Strahan had something. I didn't see it. Strahan had something to say about it?
No, Strahan said, look, this is the 17-game sack record. I did it in 16. He said you can't compare 12 when they played 12 games to 16. I thought he had a point. But he did give Myles Garrett a ton of love. You know, he talked about the great Bruce Smith, Reggie White, and he was saying Myles Garrett is way above, way ahead of where he is currently in his career. Look, Defensive Player of the Year, he's going to get that award. He won it in 2023. And again, John, like for me, this is the Cleveland Browns. They stink. Like, you don't pass the ball against the Cleveland Browns. You don't have to. And Myles Garrett is the one guy you have to worry about, you know, so they're always keeping an eye out for him. And it's just so impressive that he's able to do it, but he's a freak. I mean, he
sure is.
He is a monster.
Amazing player. Reggie White in the strike-shortened season of 87 had 21 sacks in 12 games.
Wow.
Think about that. And by the way, Michael Strahan, you did break the record on Brett Favre laying down on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
So I would watch what you said. And I agree with, for the most part, any record that's broken right now in 17 games doesn't matter. Done in 17 games. It's different. You have to look at it differently. It's like that's the 17, just like you said with 12 games. Like, you know, running backs that ran for 1,000 yards in 12 games is much different than a running back that ran for it in 17 games or 16 games.
And they're going to add another game. You know it's coming.
It's coming.
Eventually.
They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves.
And the one thing about that Strahan clip, I know that they have to put the quote, like when Fox Sports puts that out, they're going to put out that clip because that's going to generate the most engagement for it.
Right.
It is a shame because everyone reacted to I have the record for 16 games and not 17 games, when that's like 2 seconds and the other 45 seconds is him basically saying, Myles Garrett's in a class of like Reggie White, myself. Like,
right, he was so complimentary.
Right, this guy rocks. I'm just going to sit here and remind you guys there's an extra game. Like, of course he was going to do that.
If you're Michael Strahan, are you mad? Aren't you mad at him for doing that? Because he can, like, he doesn't even have the record anymore. So he not only doesn't have the record, everybody's always said, just like I did, that sure, you got the record when Brett Favre.
Oh, Brett
gave
Favre,
up.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a good chance. I forget when that happened in the game, but there's a good chance he wouldn't have gotten the record. Period.
Correct.
Well, he was up for it last week. They get the win over the Steelers. Everyone into that game, the storyline of that game was not Brown's going to take down the Steelers. It was Steelers probably going to lock things up, and Myles Garrett's going to get the record. It just so happened that the Steelers forgot how to play football for 58 minutes.
Do you guys think that there was any, laying down? I thought the play call was kind of suspect, but Myles Garrett got off the line super fast.
He did, but they also took the sack pretty easily.
I thought the play call was rolled in his direction. Just a tad.
I mean, the way that Zach Taylor reacted after the game, I don't think he was trying to give up a sack.
He is a hardo, so I think he's late entry to hardo of the year.
So when Strahan beat the record, he took it from Mark Gastineau.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see the Brett Favre, the Mark Gastineau documentary where he confronts Favre?
Want to strangle him
at some autograph show? And I don't feel like Brett Favre is a loser.
Yep.
But even I felt bad for him because all of a sudden Gastineau just shows up at this memorabilia show and is in his face confronting him.
There's a lot of CTE going on, right?
Holy crap. I almost said it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's bad.
It was really bad.
But it makes you want to go see Mark Gastineau, the next Philly show at Oaks, PA, if he's coming around.
Do you know Mark Gastineau? He was undergoing cancer treatment at Fox Chase Cancer Center in Philadelphia. He was a listener to my afternoon show.
Stop it.
All of a sudden, it's like I get you know who Mark Gastineau is? And it's like, yeah. And it's like, well, he's on the line. Like, what do you mean he's on the line?
That's awesome.
And Mark Gastineau was under, I don't know why he was in Philly, if it was for more than the cancer stuff, but he used to listen to us. And he called in, it's like, Mark Gastineau joining us. And I remember Gastineau as this
Sack Exchange,
the Sack
right?
Exchange, where, man, they were something else.
That's a great nickname.
Yeah, it was.
It's funny you bring that up.
Danny Klecko's dad, Joe Klecko, was a big part of that.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up because over the weekend I got a follow on Twitter by the great Tony Reale, Stat Boy. And it made me ask, like, I remember Bryce Harper, that whole deal. That was pretty cool. Who's the coolest guy that has followed you on social media? that you would point to? That would be like Gastineau calling in is pretty cool. Harper, that whole deal. I listened to you. He was telling the truth, right? You thought that was genuine?
He was a listener.
He was a listener?
Well, he told us it's spring training. He listened.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, when I said the Chuck from Mount Airy, I said he called in and he was saying about this Bryce Harper. I said, Chuck, because when Chuck used to call into my show, it would usually be in the first half hour. He'd been early in the show, 2 o'clock hour. So I said to Chuck, Chuck, there's a pretty good chance Bryce is listening right now. He called, Bryce, listen right now. So then he said, Bryce, hit a home run for me. I love you, Bryce. I love you, Bryce. And he was listening.
Unbelievable.
So that's why he gave I hit that home run for Chuck from Mount Airy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and Bryce, we actually brought him on at the next day after he hit the home run.
Yeah, I remember.
And he said, I don't listen to you guys every day. I listen if things are good.
Yeah.
But he wisely doesn't listen if things after a loss, he's probably not tuning in. But he always says he wants to hear what the people are saying. So, but yeah, that was pretty cool. Most famous follow, Ray? I'm trying to think who mine would be.
Ooh, I'm trying to think who mine would be.
Sean Stock
from Boys to Men.
Boys to Men.
He follows you.
We brought him on.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
The 49er Eagle NFC Championship game that was it the NFC Championship?
Is he a Niners fan? Is that what it is? Yeah, that's unfortunate.
He's a really annoying Niner fan.
He's got an unbelievable podcast. He's doing crazy numbers right now.
What's he up to this week?
Oh, that's a good call. Look at that.
He also was, when we brought him on, he wouldn't shut up about the reason why he was a Niner fan and an Eagle fan. I'm like, no, I don't really that care. I needed a 90-second answer, not a 9-minute and 30-second answer. But he started following me on Instagram.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is a huge follow.
Yes.
Ray, who's your most famous follow?
Yeah, I'm trying to go through the follows right now. I don't know. I probably don't have
BG.
Of a follow.
Brandon Graham, we're buddies.
What's up, 97.5?
We have it.
Nice.
Thank you, 97.5.
I don't have a ton of. I remember Lane Johnson started following me, then he unfollowed.
Oh no, you got an unfollow from Lane Johnson.
Well,
That's tough.
I was kind of like,
when you're in the biz, it's tough. You got to be honest with the people.
Yeah.
And not everything is gonna go.
No.
Yeah, mine's probably just John Marks.
How about that?
What about Sean Bryce?
Sean Bryce?
Yeah.
He's a known influencer.
There it is. Tony Reale, stat boy.
Why did he follow you?
He made a joke about the number 26 being the year. And he said, the number 26, I give a thumbs down. Oh, what do we got, Saquon and Utley? And I was like, yo, Tone, take it easy with the Philly sports. And then we went back and forth.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, man. He is. I miss him, man. He was a part of my life around the horn.
I was just telling Ray, it's tough to wake up every day knowing that Tony Reale's not on ESPN.
Well, Tony Reale is now unfollowed. Sean Bryce.
Stop.
All right, so we got to update the top 5 or the power rankings of McKee's after Tanner McKee, because Tanner McKee falls off my top list. He's not high on the power rankings anymore. So you have Don McKee, who Don McKee, formerly of Sports Radio, Donuts with Don.
Wow,
Don McKee.
All right,
Aaron McKee would have to.
Yeah,
he's ahead of Tanner McKee on the list. Derek McKee, former Pacer.
Wow.
Has to make the list. Ray, do you have any McKees that you can think of?
Nope. You kind of took the one that I was thinking of. That's about all I got.
Don McKee?
No. Aaron would be more the one I was
Aaron's
thinking
the one
of.
that I would pull.
Don McKee. He's still alive, ticking out there.
Yeah,
not a lot of McKees.
Not a lot of McKees. I'm seeing some.
And it can be various spellings, too. It doesn't have to be the Tanner McKee spelling.
Even famous, the website, most famous person with last name McKee, they're struggling.
How about McKeesport, city in Pennsylvania?
Love it.
610-632-0975. That's a good thing for the YouTube chat.
Beautiful this
and
time
the text line, 610-632-0975. Asante Samuel follows you, Ray.
Yes, forgot about that.
I believe
pick 6.
Little pick 6.
He may follow me unless he unfollows me.
He was wilding out over the weekend.
I love that. Him going after Cam.
Yeah.
Let's get some beef going.
Well, he was on a bender attacking Dion. And
yes.
It was like, yo, dude.
Yeah,
all right, you sound kind of silly. You were great. I mean,
he's
great. Borderline Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he was
Asante.
great.
You ain't Dion.
He was great. Cost the Patriots and Super Bowl.
Follows me. Asante Samuel. Yep. Follows me. 610-632-0975. All right, coming up, Nick Sirianni. His audio talking about resting the starters. And also, we have some positive sports talk today. 76ers. And we'll do the text line, but the 76ers I didn't think I'd be saying this year. But,
How about it?
I'm squinting and I'm seeing something there.
Big win on Saturday.
All right, that's coming up next.
Here we go again.
Middays of Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Second team leading to some second guessing. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles rest their stars, fell 24-17 to the Commanders, losing out on a chance to get the NFC's second seed after the Bears lost to the Lions. After the game, Sirianni was asked whether or not he regretted sitting his starters, and he does not.
You go through your process. You make what you think is the best decision for the football team, and that's what we did. One thing I could guarantee was giving them rest. I couldn't guarantee anything else, and us going into the playoffs healthy is a big deal for us.
Right or wrong, it results in the Eagles getting the third seed in the postseason. Eagles host the 49ers at 4:25 Sunday in the NFC wildcard round. Tonight, the 76ers look for a fourth consecutive win when they host the Nuggets at 8:30. Phillies announced this morning that they hired Don Manley to be their new bench coach. This update's brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Your favorite song shouldn't have to wait for Wi-Fi. Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, the best birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
of Boys to Men growing up. I had that Cooley High Harmony.
Yeah, I could see that.
In fourth grade, I bought a blazer from, I believe, Burlington Coat Factory, if I'm not mistaken. I'm telling you, you have to see this picture. I slicked my hair down, and I literally bought this blazer because of Boys to Men. I'm not lying.
By the way, Burlington Coat Factory had more than just coats. I know they're no longer in business.
Are they done? Are they cooked?
I believe they are.
Oh, okay.
I believe they are.
Yes. I love Boys. I still listen to Boys to Men. And like I said, Sean Stockman is awesome.
Yeah, 1 o'clock hour brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Great teams stick together, so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results visit morgensternhair.com or call 610-831-HAIR. Ray, do we have any solid points on the text line?
We got a lot of points on the text line today, that's for sure. Unnamed texter from Texas. Why all the complaining? Coach Sirianni is always being criticized for everything, but if he would have played his starters, they would have gotten injured. Y'all would have lost your mind and called him a dummy. Y'all clearly saw two players get hurt, Calcaterra and that backup cornerback that easily could have been an important player. Coach Sirianni made the right call. Rest is way more important.
All the other starters that played, because only the epidemic of injury and rest didn't happen across the rest of the NFL. Just saying. All the other teams played their players.
And you're not going to, if you are level-headed, you're not going to rip the head coach for going and playing your guys if there's something to play for.
Right. If there wasn't anything to play for,
sure.
Yeah. They're playing for the number 2 seed. If you're going to rest your starters, then you have to win the game. If the Bears lose and you decide you're going to rest your starters, you have to win the game. There's nothing else to say. They didn't win the game. So when I was asked on Friday, do you agree with it? My answer was, well, they better win the game. Because if they lose the game and the Bears lose, I mean, I can't believe it actually played out. It's a worst-case scenario. It really is. But anyway, any other solid points on the text line, Ray?
I think you guys are looking at this all wrong. I don't know if this is a solid point, but this is a point. I think you guys look at this all wrong. I don't think the Eagles wanted to play the Packers in the first round. I don't blame them. It's an easier pill to swallow if we lose to the 49ers than we end up losing to the Packers. Angelo from Ardmore.
Oh, so it's losing to the 49ers will be acceptable. Yeah, I'm sure Eagles fans will be fine with losing to the 49ers.
I've watched, look, they obviously sat all their starters. You know, they didn't have anything to play for. They were already locked into the 7th seed. But you're talking about a team in the Green Bay Packers that are coming into the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak. That doesn't happen often, number one. Number two, this team, with my own eyes, is depleted. They are gutted. Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, like the list goes on and on with the injuries that they have suffered. Jordan Love is a good quarterback, Ray. He's a good quarterback. Not a great quarterback now. He might be a franchise guy.
How about that?
Yep, Ray doesn't have to root against the Eagles now, which is very disappointing.
I was never going to root against the Eagles.
Yes,
you're upset. Your real reason. I'm glad that we could start to peel the onion back here on this one. Yeah, you're upset, sure, that they lost the game. They didn't get the 2 seed. The season's, a little bit more in peril now, the path. What you're really upset about is you had a week planned out where for 20 hours you were able to just turn on the mic and say, Ray, you're rooting for the Packers, aren't you?
No, because they didn't know that the Bears were going to lose. So while we talked about that and it would have been great, I didn't know if the Bears were actually going to lose the game. I didn't have enough time to process that because the Eagles were also losing at the time. If you're watching Red Zone, it was like the Lions, they threw an interception. Goff threw an interception, and it's like, wow, so they're not going to lose the game, so this whole thing's not going to matter.
I thought the Bears were winning the game.
So did I. So it's like this whole thing's not even going to matter, and I won't be able to complain about this tomorrow, which I would have been fine with, by the way.
Yes.
But then they don't end up losing, or they end up losing the game anyway, and then the Eagles lose. That last drive, the Eagles' last drive, was so feeble and so pathetic. The game ended exactly the way it should have. Where they should have walked off. Hey, Nick Sirianni yelling at the fans on the way off the field last week like he was the previous week.
It's a complete dud. A dud of a fourth quarter. Just brutal.
Well, let's talk about a team that isn't a dud right now. Your Philadelphia 76ers. Your team, your town, your 76ers. 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, baby.
On the road, too. You had that thriller against the Grizzlies where Edge Cope's been unbelievable. The win against the Mavericks, and then you beat the Knicks up at the Garden.
Monster win. They bullied the Knicks on Saturday night, John.
They really did. Great, great game to watch. Great win by the Sixers. And I know they weren't at full strength, but still, great win.
Look, you have It starts and ends for me, and this is probably the best case scenario for everybody because we want that new. VJ Edgecombe is the real deal.
Yeah, I love him.
Wow, what a draft pick. And it's amazing because Johnny's not scared of the moment, and he's got athleticism. He'll go hard after the rim. Defensive, he was going after John Morant. Like, he doesn't back down. And like I said, that's the new, but then you cannot lose focus of Tyrese Maxey and what he's doing. It's insane, the leap that Tyrese has made this year. You can make the case that he's the best guard in the East, and that's Brunson, that's Cade Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey. It's just unbelievable to watch him play.
Well, he's an MVP candidate.
Correct.
As he should be.
Yep.
The Sixers are going to have to win more games than they would have to. But still, he's not going to win the MVP this year, but he's playing at that level. You're not having to rely on Embiid, so you're not overusing Embiid. You're not forcing it to Embiid. And Embiid has been playing great.
He has been.
Hey, he took less shots than Maxey and Edgecombe combined, but he's very efficient when he does that. He had 26 points. Defensively, you still worry about that.
He played good defense on Saturday night.
He did.
He
did. But Edgecombe, for all he's raw offensively and shooting the ball, he's gotten better. And he had a double block against the Mavs where he blocked twice. He blocked the shot. On the same shot, he blocked it. He had an unbelievable. I don't remember the one. It was Dutsy talking about this in the back. He had a block against the Knicks, which was apparently was a highlight reel block where this kid's unbelievable.
Yep.
He's going to play the entire year at 20 years old.
Yeah, they bring that up because of some of the other guys that were in his class that were drafted, whatever. I would just say this from when it comes to Edgecombe, it's just it's so refreshing to see somebody get this opportunity and not be scared. And you brought up that game against Memphis where, look, Maxey got double teamed. You want the ball in Maxey's hands. He only had one option, and it was a three-point shot, and he stepped right into it and nailed it. And this is not a fluke. He is. Like, when we look back at that draft class, there's a lot of good names, and I'm not going to sit here and say he's better than Cooper Flagg, but that Rookie of the Year award is up for grabs.
He's playing at that level. Ray, the lineup of Edgecombe, Maxey, Grimes, George, and Joel Embiid. I'm just saying, and I've been very negative on the 76ers for the last couple of years.
Little bit.
I'm just saying, this is something for me to say. I'm squinting, and I'm seeing the team. I'm saying, you know what?
You buying in?
Could this be the year that they win the second round matchup?
Some people would say, no, you need to stay over there, John Marks. That's what they'd be saying.
They can say whatever they want. Ray, I'm squinting. Do you see the same thing?
I got in that Uber away from Bill's event at the Goat and Rittenhouse on Saturday night after that Sixers game, and I was feeling something. Wasn't just the crowd at the Goat and Rittenhouse that had me feeling something.
What event?
Bill Colarulo had a Sixers watch party.
Well, no one told me about
Saturday
this.
Night. I just heard the commercial. He's got another one coming up.
Yeah, Lucy's this weekend.
Oh, man.
Big fan of Lucy.
He's got these watch parties downtown, too, of all places.
Yep.
There's Big Bill Colarulo on the...
listen.
Oh, he's a star.
The big
TV
star.
every day. It's big deal. But yeah, I'm feeling something about this team right now. I'm getting kind of carried away too. It's getting bad.
But it's starting to come together. It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's starting to come together, and you can see a regular season game against the Knicks in January. It's not the be-all, end-all. But here's one thing that I see from this team is that, like, in previous years in the big spot, I felt like their best players came up the smallest. And I'm not talking about Maxey. I'm talking about Embiid.
Sure.
Edgecombe gives you the confidence that you need. So it's not just Maxey. It's not just – you don't have to rely too much on Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
And Paul George almost being an afterthought as your fourth best player is really good. And your rotation's good on top of it. Grimes is the perfect that three-guard offense that they have I really, really like.
Look, it's definitely a position I didn't think that this team would be in it currently right now, present day. There's an interesting conversation about Jared McCain. What are you going to do there? Some people are saying you could dangle him as far as trade bait is concerned. I would rather play it out, but Nick Nurse.
Grimes is going to be going after this year likely, so then that could be your third guard.
How about tonight? They're 14.5-point favorites. Now, no Joker.
So who's out? Who's out tonight?
Not just no Joker.
And Murray out, too.
Murray's out. Valciunas is out. Hardaway's out. Aaron Gordon's
Andrew
out.
Salciunas isn't playing tonight?
Christian Bond is out. This is an absurd. Cam Johnson is out. This is an absurd injury report.
What about the Sixers? What have they announced?
I have not seen a Sixers. Here we go. Sixers on this side. Embiid's probable. Edwards is available. Oubre and Watford remain out.
That's a Peacock game too, right?
Yeah.
That's
8:30.
bad, man.
Oh.
That's bad for the national game.
Going down. Tickets are pretty cheap.
Now, especially now.
Just
Hey,
saying.
you might have overpaid at this point.
Oh, you and Ray both going down to the game?
Going down to the game and got my eyes, because of you, on the Game Time app, John Marks, and I'm looking at some decent prices
You can
right
get in for $13.
And I think they're going to give you a T-shirt, popcorn. Just come on down.
Get out.
No, get it.
There you go. How do you have so much time to do stuff?
I don't.
Well, you're always out doing stuff. You said you were at the bar on Saturday night. You're going to the game tonight.
My wife's going to love this one. Yeah,
Now, do you ask for permission or do you just do it?
It depends. I never just do it. It's more along the lines of it's a feeling out process. Like Saturday night, there wasn't anything going on, and I just said, hey, is it cool if I go up? Sure, all right.
Is it cool? What time did you leave the house, though?
On Saturday night?
Yeah.
7. Yeah, because Sixers game started at 7:30, so I started at 7, and I was home by 11:30.
Okay. All right, but you said, can you put both kids to bed? I'm going to go out and drink and watch the Sixers.
Yeah, essentially.
610-632-0975.
Love the boathouse at Conshohocken. What do you want?
What's coming up? YouTube chat recap and everything else that we have left. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Fanatics.
Any other concerts you're mixing in this week? So Thursday night you're going to a game. Tonight you're going out. Anything else?
Friday night, Wings, lacrosse, baby, back at home.
You're working that, though.
Emo night, yes.
What's your official title for the Wings?
In-arena announcer. Dude, it's incredible. It's year 4 for me.
Yeah, you've been doing it forever.
They give me a microphone and they just say go. So you think about that.
And the Wings games are fun.
Oh, they're nuts.
Yeah.
They're a lot like that Rage Against the Machine rejoiner there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're fun. They are. They've been doing it for a long time. Are you aware, Ray, that Jake Berge got inducted into the I think they retired his number.
In the rafters.
It's in the rafters. I emceed the ceremony. This is, I guess, before Sean was doing it. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a legend. Berge passed away, right?
Bill died in the last year.
Yeah, Bill. Excuse me, Bill did. Yes,
his dad, and I had a picture. Yeah, I always wondered what former players, if they listened, what they thought of me, if that makes sense. You know, like I'm always like, so Bill. So I do a Miller Lite thing with Bill.
Okay,
and he comes up and he goes, Johnny Marks, I'm such a big fan of yours. And he
awesome.
shakes my hand and it was like, oh, my God, you just like made my year by saying that.
Such a good dude.
And we talked, and I knew he was a good dude, and we talked, and I took a couple pictures with him. I'm like, dude, like, just so you know, like, when I was a young kid, like, you were the biggest thing as an Eagle.
Oh, yeah.
And he was such a gentleman, and he went on to be, he did media for a long time.
Yeah, he was the go-to.
Yeah. Bill, and he was a guy that totally got this city and got the Cowboys rivalry. He hated the Cowboys.
Well, and when he did pass, you just saw everybody in all the comments. It's like when I die, I might get a few family members be like, "He was such a good guy."
Well, I'll give you a nice tweet.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Give me 5 stars. Will you give me 5-star review, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sean's dead. Here's my 5-star review.
Actually, like a QR code at the funeral. Like, hey, leave a review for our guy.
Yep,
right, man.
I'll give you a retweet.
Thank you.
Sean Brace has died.
I appreciate that.
Retweet. Nice guy.
Works for me.
I enjoyed working with him. All right,
brought the energy every day.
Yeah. He wears his Eagle Sherpa.
Kept Red Bull in business single-handedly.
Bury me in it.
I mean, he's a Celsius energy drink guy now. Sean was telling me he's been drinking a lot of more Celsius these days.
Wow.
So good.
Love Celsius energy.
And they got
new drink.
plenty of flavors to choose from. I like the orange.
They really do it. Very diverse.
Yes.
I'm also drinking a ginger root beer. 0 sugar. It's a leftover from I was making mules over the holiday.
Oh, how about that?
Yep. So
love a good mule.
Oh, I love a good mule.
Yep.
You a mule guy, Ray? Well, you shouldn't be drinking it.
No, I'm not in 2026 at least.
You gotta have
of course not.
The metal cup. Do you have the metal cup?
You got to have the copper cup, or it doesn't taste the same. No, we did not have that. We had a plastic cup, and it didn't taste good.
The mule cup.
It actually was. I wasn't making it. Liz was making it, and it was a cranberry mule that we had at another function that we went to, and it was very good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong; it's very good.
Ginger beer is good.
I love the ginger beer. All right, you know what it's time for. Hit it, Ray.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in? Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
By the way, Football Monday is brought to you by the local Bryant Home Comfort Team. Visit nopaybryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. Hit me.
Sean has always loved cottage cheese. So when the Eagles released that hoodie, it was just meant to be. From Tommy John.
Does look like cottage cheese.
Not a cottage cheese guy, just saying. But
with fruit, I like it.
My wife is on that. That smell gets me.
At the grocery store, I know a lot of people, the texture bothers people as well. But you can buy the pineapple cottage cheese. It's very sweet.
Little flavor.
It's good.
Okay.
You cottage cheese guy, Ray?
Not really, no.
I didn't think so. All right, what's next?
I'd walk with you, Ray. Grab a sponsor for it. I'll enjoy seeing all the young ladies that'll join the walk with us, Ray. From Dawood Spriggs.
All right, so what's the walk bet?
It's now if they get Bregman or Bichette.
Bregman or Bichette?
Yeah.
I would say 85% that Real Muto's back. 5% they're getting Bichette or Bregman.
We're talking bruschetta. I'm getting hungry now.
I like bruschetta.
Bichette would fire me up if he ends up in a Phillies uniform, and it's probably not lately. That price tag is going to be north of $200 million.
Yeah.
How many years?
8.
Oh, that sounds like something that probably won't happen.
And I think that one of the other things is that Is he playing third base? Has he played third base?
He's never played third base. He has played second, though.
So you could say the hell with Bryson Stott. We're going to trade him and we'll bring Bichette in. Are we kind of a little bit further along in the process to be trading players at this point? I mean, I guess you could.
Got to trade Bohm.
You would have to trade Bohm.
And then you're going to play a guy who's got an okay glove at best.
No, you're not.
No. Yeah, that's tough.
No, you sign up for he's a good bat. And he makes your team better. He definitely does. But I don't know. It's hard for me to, and I said this weeks ago, JT, sign now, because if you don't sign right away, people are going to start being like, hang on a second. Are we really better off with JT Realmuto? Because this lineup's not good enough with JT. What does JT add to the lineup?
There's no hashtag sign JT this time around. It's like, all right, dude, either be here or don't. Like, let's move along.
It's time to sign.
Yeah.
It's time to sign. I get it. You want to make money. You want to negotiate or whatever. But at this point, I'm starting to get pissed off. All right, what's next?
From Simple John K.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Simple John.
Nice. Yeah, sure.
I think it was a technical difficulty. Please stand by.
Okay.
It's okay. You can move on to the next one.
Hey, John, do you have enough clothes? I've seen the hoodie at least 3 times last month. From Simple John K.
Oh. So this right here has not been worn probably since I started the show. So that's incorrect.
There you go.
You go in YouTube, we do it every day, and you show me that I've worn this 3 times in the last month, and I'll eat Ray's shoe live on the air.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Get some cottage cheese with that, too.
You can put cottage cheese on top of it, and I will eat the shoe on the air.
I wouldn't do that to you.
So I can tell you I may have worn this once in the last month. I have so many friggin' hoodies at home. I don't need to be reusing.
Where's the 6'7" sweatshirt at, though? Is that retired till next Christmas, or is that just completely out of the rotation?
Maybe gets brought back once.
Did you see somebody name their kid 6'7"?
I did see that.
I didn't, but I'm not
We're past
surprised.
the point of save.
Sean orders a Ringo jersey from Temu. It says Dingo on it from If Bayless.
Dude, get rid of Ringo. Please.
God, he sucks.
Oh, I can't believe. How do you even do that? The awareness, 0.
All right, so explain to me what he was doing on the play where he ran away from the quarterback that had unabated to the end zone.
Well, essentially, he just probably fell into the coverage in the corner of the end zone and said, I need to follow this receiver.
He was worried about him throwing it,
correct,
which is fine, except you have to have the awareness that there's nobody, he's going to walk into the end zone.
Yeah, there was nobody else there to make the tackle. You go and tackle the guy that has the football. Football 101.
And then if he makes the completion, then that's on everybody else.
It is what it is.
You're the last line of defense on a run.
He 0 football awareness, and he's in the NFL playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. Come on now.
He was given the job in training camp that he lost, and he's lost the job many times. But I'm just saying, the Dory Jackson fan club.
Great club to be in.
Just saying. And I do have multiple camo hoodies, I was thinking.
Is that what it is?
Okay, I'll wear the other one tomorrow. How about that?
Nice.
All right, what's next?
There's a better chance that Ray has lunch with Sabrina Carpenter than Bo Bichette is a Philly.
Ooh.
From MBD.
Oh, man. There's no shot he's going to have lunch with Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
0.
I mean, it's close, but probably Bo Bichette signs before that.
Nah, I'm taking my chances. I'm taking my chances.
Oh, yeah. Is that what it is?
Gannon lies more than Herb from Andrew J.
Did you hear the saga of Herb?
Did not.
Herb's getting catfished. Somebody sent him a picture via text.
It's hard these days.
And I told him on the air, I'm like, Ray, they're trying to scam you. And he's like, yeah, but now she sent me her real number, not her work number. So he called today. I said, today's not the day, Herb.
The AI, man, nothing is real anymore. Nothing is real.
The picture that because he sent it to me, and I'm like, who is this picture that you're sending? And he's like, yeah. He's like, show Ricky Bo. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not showing Ricky Bo.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The AI IG models are out of hand.
It's not even that.
No, someone's just using someone else's picture to
Oh,
catfish.
all right.
Yeah, we someone
reversed
reverse image.
search. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was just like some random chick. All right, any more, Ray?
John is just a floating head. He's not wearing a shirt. Bill Colarulo.
If you're in the woods, maybe, if we're doing a show from...
It's a camo joke. It landed just as well as it did in the studio.
Ah, there it is.
Because he said that to me before, and I didn't catch it then. You have to understand, my mind is mush.
Dude.
It's also a bad joke.
Yeah.
Always fun. 4 hours.
Bam, goes by fast.
Yes, sir.
Coming up next. Oh, I can't wait to hear what they have to say. Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo.
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
Unfiltered. That's coming up next. See you.